So, welcome back, everybody, to Into the Darkness, episode 3. I figured we would take an hour and just chat and hang out before we, because I don't think anybody's waiting to find out what happened after the end of last session. It was a very tame and quiet, and there was no cliffhangers. There's not a single cliff was seen. Welcome back, everybody.
You good?
I'm good. It's fine. Welcome back to Into the Darkness, episode 3. I hope everybody's having an excellent week, an excellent Saturday, or if you're on the other side of the world, an excellent Sunday. Just a reminder, they're a little bit different on twitch.tv/internet on, I know how to say words, on Saturday nights.
We are starting strong.
We're having a great week. Wait till y'all see what I have planned. Everything's gonna be fine. So, as a reminder, any bits that you use tonight, go towards the mod team to thank them for helping out, because we are not as attentive to chat as we normally are. It takes us a little longer to say thank you for things like Pally donations or to welcome in raids, and then things like bits and subs. Candace will catch at our breaks. All bits go towards the mod team. If you'd like to support us and what we're doing, as well as help us on our goals with the show, we have a Pally. And we are currently saving up to get character art commissioned of all of our characters. So !DnD, and there's a ton of information in there. And I think that's all that stuff. Yeah, it means the world to us. It really does. We got our first payout this week, and we all had a moment of oh my god, we're doing this. They like us. So thank you all so much. We have checked in. We always have a little bit of time ahead of time. We've checked in safety-wise. Based on the past few episodes, we're all feeling good with our safety. If you'd like to learn more about that, go check out ThanksInternet's YouTube channel, where you can hear about the things that we're doing. You can catch up on old episodes, and you can help get Candace to 100 subscribers on YouTube so she can get a custom YouTube URL. Just a little thing that's just a little bit of a reminder. We are playing this game for fun. We won't always do things mechanically correctly, sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident. We are going to make decisions that might not always be the most mechanically sound, but work for our characters or for our RP. So please don't backseat in chat. Please don't be like, well, actually, if you cast this spell, this would have... Please don't do that. Please just hang out and let's have fun, and have a nice time together. So thank you for being aware of that. We're gonna do a recap in a second. We're gonna go over some goals, and then we'll get started. Thank you all so much for that hype train as well. Again, Candace will, before breaks, say thank you to everything. And Layer of Lore, thank you so much for that raid. Fan, I really appreciate you. I hope you had a lovely stream. Raiders, thank you for being here. We're going to give a little recap. So if this is your first time here, we'll catch you up on everything that's going on before we get started. So do we want to do goals and then recap, or recap and then goals?
Recap then goals, I think.
Okay. So our party of adventurers, this is week 3 of our adventure. They are in a forest in a jungle continent called Aldamarth. They have been asked to come help. Dragomir's friend Keswick wrote a letter that there's a monster problem. Monsters are pushing north, further north than they've ever been before, and it's causing issues for the cities and the farmlands. So they have been asked to travel south into the jungle to help investigate the monster problem that's going on. They stumbled into a pocket of the Feywild in the week 1 and managed to get out. And then in week 2, they traveled through the jungle. They met some ghost children, maybe. Illyria is searching for a Reaper because her Deva guide has asked her to speak with one. They had some nice moments of getting to know each other. The party's only been traveling together for a few weeks, so they're still getting to know each other. And they fought a Catoblepa. It was fine. It was only a little bit stinky. And they went swimming. Am I missing anything important? Oh, and then at the very end, they killed a plant, which was very difficult for Fel, who is our barbarian. He loves nature and he doesn't want to kill plants. But unfortunately, this plant was trying to eat their faces. And then after they killed this plant, Illyria called out in Celestial to see if a Reaper was nearby. And there was one nearby. And then Illyria collapsed. And then we ended the session. So we're going to find out pretty soon what's maybe going on with all of that. But first, we're going to do some goals. So, Meep, would you like to share your goals first?
I'd love to share my goals. Thank you. I have this week specifically, boop, there it is. One of my goals this week is the same goal that we've had since the start, which is I want to find the most perfect hat in the entire world. So far, we have a magical thread and needle, but no skills to be able to make a hat. That's it. So that's one goal. Another goal is that we are still looking for some kind of a pet. Meep wants to have a pet, a sidekick of some sort, a little cute something or other. We don't know. And then third goal is she wants to eat something new. She wants to eat something that's like sweet and delicious. She wants to find a treat. Those are her 3 goals this week.
I love those goals. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Dragomir, would you like to go next?
Yeah, so we have, of course, the same goal that we've been working on since the beginning, which is to help Keswick dealing with this monster problem that we're facing and trying to sort all of that out. We're still hunting for Coliseum information. It's pretty important, so we're going to keep working on it. And we have not given up. Even though we didn't abandon the main quest and go on an adventure to the north, we have not given up on trying to have some delicious T-Rex steak.
Amazing. We have 2 different goals, so 2 different characters for trying a new food. They're just a little bit different from each other. Concha, what are Fel's goals for this week?
Well, as is usual, to find the damn Australian red leaf. That's going to be on there for forever. Goal number 2 for this week is to get Meep back after the prank she pulled last game. And then find time to actually see about helping Illyria.
Amazing.
Wow, thanks.
Just to double check, is our caption still working? Because it timed out on my end. And I just want to, normally I would wait, but captions are important.
I see everyone but yours.
Okay, cool. Sorry, everybody. We just want to make sure this is accessible and approachable for everybody. Illyria, you can, if your captions are working, you can share your goals while we take a peek at this.
Sure, yes. So goal number 1, as usual, make her appreciate something beautiful daily. Maybe it will be wherever this Reaper is taking me. I don't know. Number 2, follow the Reaper's instructions, because that must be why my Deva has told me to talk to one, right? And goal 3, find Dad? Question mark?
I don't know why that kills me every time.
Like,
is there a question mark because we don't know whose dad it is, or we just don't know where he is? I have a lot of questions.
That's why.
big old question mark. That's what we got.
You can ask multiple questions and I will say yes.
Dad? Dad?
Daddy? Sorry.
How dare you? Okay, my captions are working again.
Good.
How dare you? Okay. Okay. I think we're ready. So normally at the beginning of every episode, there would be a little opening scene and then our opening credits would play. But this is one of those episodes where we don't see any opening credit scene. We just see the credits over the scene because we don't have time for that today. We have to find out what's happening with Illyria. So Illyria, you are standing in the jungle in the forest. You can see your friends around you and you can see your body lying on the floor. They appear to be frozen. And all the colors of everything, it's like there's like a dark filter over everything that's making everything blue and dark and monotone. And
Sure.
as you look around, after crying out in Celestial to see if these Reapers would hear you,
Mhm.
you then find yourself here. There were 2 Reapers here, but one of them, as you look into the distance, is walking off. It waves a hand, and it's like a curtain parts with blackness behind, and it disappears behind this curtain, which then ripples back closed. And the second Reaper disappears. That was the one that was carrying the spirit of the flower. The first Reaper, and each of these Reapers, just to remind Chad about what these things look like, they all are large humanoids with massive spiky horns that go down past their shoulders, down to their ankles and curl, that are covered in spikes. They have large halos that look like they're made out of golden barbed wire. They each have different skulls for faces. Some of them have elk skulls, some of them have wolf skulls, different animals and maybe people. And they wear tattered clothing and robes with gold necklaces with gold coins. They also have like gold coins hanging off of their antlers, and they drag carts behind them. Their legs are a little bit more goat-like than humanoid. And this creature, which has an elk skull, you can see it facing your direction, but it's looking side to side. And you could see that it's listening.
Hi. This place is new.
So as soon as you start talking, it starts
Mhm.
moving in your general direction while still looking side to side. But when you stop talking, it pauses again. And then it says, it speaks. And when it speaks, it sounds like several voices layered over each other and distorted.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. That doesn't scary at all.
And it says, child of Ophion, I remember the day your mother left this world.
I was just trying to help out. Sorry.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
really
No,
into
that's
it.
great. That's basic. That's what it sounds like. I remember the day your mother left this world.
Left this world.
Moments ago, yet so long ago.
Who?
And when you say that, it like turns into your direction and begins moving in that way. And it says, servant of Ranthenos, where has the beauty that you seek gone? An unmoving sunrise tells all.
Oh, there it is. I was like, why can't I find the world building tab? It's because I had it minimized. It's like, what? I mean, I found a lot of beauty lately. I did see a beautiful sunset. You're right. My Deva showed me one.
And then it says to you, seek that which you have already found. The servant of Onos at the unmoving sunrise holds the answer your Deva seeks.
Servant of Onos.
And yeah, anytime it's starting to get quite a bit closer. It's very tall.
So someone who serves Onos can get my Deva back to this time?
It makes a sound that's kind of like a mix between like an annoyed sound, but it also sounds like an animal, like a little bit of like a growl, like roar kind of a sound, and like shakes its head. But then stops itself, and like you can see it like tilting its head, trying to like listen.
Okay, thank you.
And then it kind of pauses and like it stops like the head tilting and it stops like the like listening movements and says you define yourself by past of those who came before you, unaware that they are with you always. And then it lunges up to where you are and puts a hand on your face. And then you feel a moment of pain. There's a
Ow.
dark flash, and then you like gasp and inhale and wake up in your body. Everybody else, all you saw was Illyria dropped and then breathed in and woke up. There wasn't any time that passed. Like she just like fell and then came back.
I'm processing it. I'm like actual cold shivers from that scene.
You're processing. Was I just possessed? What just happened to me?
Fell's just not even noticed. Like, I think he's almost drawing like a circle around it. Like, it's a weird, like, it looks like a summoning circle, but it's kind of like a way to pay respect to the plant. So he's got his giant glaive and just kind of like doing these little marks around the flower and just processing on what he had to do.
Yeah, so I would run over because we're friends. We've known each other for a little while from before this whole party. So I would just kind of run over to Illyria and say, "Hey, did the plant get you? Are you okay? Did you get poisoned? What's up?"
I was here, but not. And you all were frozen.
I don't remember.
And I
being
talked to the Reaper, and then it touched me, and then I was back.
So
do you think
Illyria,
it killed me and then brought me back?
on your sheet, you can edit your channel divinity. Instead of turn undead, it's now called mark undead.
Mark undead. Okay.
That's exciting.
What does
So
this mean? Oh no. Uh-oh. What are the consequences of this action? We'll find out.
so you met. I mean, it might have killed you. Why would it bring you back though?
I'm supposed to find a servant of Onos, the god of time. And then everything else, I'm going to need a text recap because I don't remember.
Anybody who would like to could make a religion check to try and remember more about Onos, the god of time.
Sure.
Religion check.
Sure, why not?
Where's
Religion check.
Actually, do I even have anything in religion?
Is that in skills?
I sure don't.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? I want to roll.
15.
These are alphabetical, and I still struggle to find where religion is.
12
Fair.
for me.
How does a 3 sound?
Like, you know nothing.
Time is soup to Fel.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And
10? Okay. So Destiny, Illyria and Meep, you both kind of know that there are temples to the god of time. And there are like acolytes who work there, but there are no clerics or paladin of time. Like they don't take on servants the way other gods do. So they have their temples, but there are no time clerics or time paladins. They don't they're not a god who offers up magic in exchange for worship.
Interesting.
Illyria, did you see the thing I showed you all last night? Is that what you saw?
I think so. It had like antlers, but the skull looked a little different.
Terrifying, right? Like
I
I've
mean, I
seen a lot
didn't
of
love
things
it.
on this planet, on this like continent. That's really up there on some of the most terrifying things I've seen.
I mean, I don't. It's definitely not of this. Maybe plane even.
Meep is just
When
over
it talked,
standing
it
on a.
had lots of voices.
I'm just standing on a root. I'm just bouncing up and down a root, and I say, so far we've only seen this creature in our dreams, though. So we don't
Was I
know if it's
dreaming?
real.
Don't think they were dreaming, Meep.
Uh-oh. So where are you going? When you're seeing this creature, where are you going? Where do you think you're going?
You know, I
We
don't
died.
think it's
No.
on the material plane.
They died for a little while, yeah.
I think we died.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
This is afterlife area?
Do I have full hit points?
Shit.
Do I feel bad?
You feel terrible, but your hit points are fine.
Oh, okay.
oh,
That's
that's
fine.
fine. You know, whatever. No,
Just
yeah.
a
I guess
splitting
some people
headache
can die
and
and
a
just
lot
come
of
back
fear.
fine. That's okay.
Yeah, so I think after a minute, as you're standing up, like Alira, you have for anybody who's been following along at home, undead aren't really a thing in this world, and so therefore a channel divinity turn undead wouldn't be something most clerics would be aware that they have, because undead aren't really a problem in most parts of the world. Illyria, you feel like you've just read a textbook front to back. Like you just have this like heavy, like your brain feels full, but you don't know what of. And you're tired, and something just feels a little bit off.
I do sort of feel like I just died, you know?
What time of day is it right now?
It's probably like mid to late afternoon.
Should we maybe like rest for a little bit? I know we were heading towards the what's it called?
The keep.
This
Yeah,
might
I know
help.
we were heading towards the keep,
I don't
but
get it at all.
I think you might have just slightly died. Maybe we should just relax for a little bit.
I mean, I feel physically well, sort of.
You also know you're like a couple hours away, so if you can push through, you will get to the stronghold today.
How tall, Illyria? How tall are you? Out of game. Just
Like 5 foot.
5
Not very
foot.
tall.
Okay. You see me finish up the little circle, put the glaive on my back. Again, deep breath, head down. Another deep breath. Without even turning around to the group. I think we need to head to the stronghold. Illyria, would you like me to carry you? So you don't have to worry about expelling any more energy.
Can I ride on your shoulders?
Yes, you can.
And how
This
tall
is
is
very
Belle
normal for me
again?
because like acrobatics and stuff in the circus.
Fell is 7'8".
I'm so tall up here.
He's just looking up and waving.
Here.
So tall. Oh my goodness.
So sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's head off and make our way.
Does everybody
Probably
feel
best.
okay after that fight? I know
Are you okay? You're the one that died.
I got a ring.
Yeah,
wow.
it's just a little poison, nothing a dwarf can't handle.
You have a ring?
Yeah. I got
Where
a
did
Oh
you
yeah.
It was a
where'd you
ring, right?
find it?
It was a ring. Yeah. Last week?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think so.
just making sure, just double checking. I have a ring. I found it. The plant gave it to me, kind of, but not, and I took it, and it's shiny, and I love it, and I would love to show you if you want to see, but you're a little bit far away. So
I feel like Illyria would be the only one to hear this just because they're closest and just like kind of under his breath, just like, I don't have the energy to deal with this today. A lot of this was very mentally traumatic for me, and I'm going to try to not just
She has the ring out like this, and she just kind of like puts it back away and looks away.
I will just simply pat him on the head. That's it.
It's very nice up there. It's a completely different view than what you're used to.
Yeah.
So you all walk for just a couple of hours. The sun begins to set. But before you see the stronghold, you smell it. You get this rotting,
Not again.
warm
Oh.
stench. And Illyria, you feel like there's like it feels like you're like a fish in a tank and somebody's like pinging the glass. And as you approach, you can see like there's like a wooden, I don't know, fence, like, except it's like really, really tall because it's a stronghold. Like they took like trees and made the ends pointy and made it really, really tall. I hope that makes sense. And it goes all the way around this stronghold. And there's a gate that would normally be open and lowered, but it's currently closed. And you can see vaguely humanoid shapes. There's like maybe 3 or 4 of them that are slowly ambling in front of the door and sort of dragging themselves around.
Hey team, I know that we didn't need to rest, but like a shower, you know, a little bit of a little dip, we might need to stop for a little. Do you smell? Is that you, Dragomir? I'm not trying to be rude.
Don't think that's coming from us.
Can I grab Meep and just put her in front and like point her in the direction of where the smell is coming from?
Oh, okay. Are we going in that direction?
Back behind.
Yeah.
That's where we were
After
headed.
you? Please, Dragomir, please, fell after you.
I would like to once more cast Detect Evil and Good.
Okay, let me scroll over to that description. Okay, you know if there are any aberrations, celestial, elemental, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where they're located. You can tell if a place has been consecrated or desecrated. It's blocked by 1 foot of stone, metal. I'm assuming you're looking for undead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm doing it, but
yeah, so I think this would be the first time, like you've probably cast this spell before, but this is the first time that you are searching for undead, because again, this is something that doesn't really exist in other places in the world, or here until recently, apparently. So it's a little bit like listening for a sound you haven't heard before, and then as you're putting out your senses, you get like pings. You get pings in front of you as the humanoids in front of the gates light up, and it's like tasting something you've never had before, or like smelling something you've never smelled before. Like the way it pings your radar is different than anything you've ever felt before. It leaves kind of a bad taste in your mouth.
So you know how people aren't supposed to be undead here? I think Zolzato might have missed these ones.
Are they on the outside or the inside?
They're
Or
on the
more
outside of the gates. So they're standing in between you and the closed door into the stronghold.
Sorry, to clarify, Destiny would be able to see through the walls with the spell, right?
Up to 30 feet. I can see through walls, but if they're beyond 30 feet, I wouldn't be able to know if there's more. So we'd have to get like right up to it.
I was more asking if you were seeing them, like if it's just the ones that we can spot, or do you see more?
It's just those 4.
And there's no guards or anything? Like there's not, like, from what we can tell?
If you look up, it looks like there should be a patrol. Like it looks like there's like towers set up, but you don't see anybody up there.
So are we going to kill these things, or what's the play here?
I mean, Keswick was in there. We have to get in there.
Can I use find traps? I've never used it before.
Let's take a look. What does find traps do?
Find traps. Let me pull it up. There it is. It says you sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. So, trap for the purposes of this spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator. And this spell merely reveals that a trap is present. You don't learn the location of each trap, but you do learn the general nature of the danger posed by the trap that you sense.
Okay. Within line of sight. Yeah, absolutely. So are you looking like at the gates? Are you looking like what direction are you looking in?
Directly in front of the group, like towards the gate. Yeah. Between us and the gate.
Yeah, so you do detect a trap in the direction of like the gates.
Okay. One trap?
Yeah, just one trap in the direction of the gate.
Well, I look at everybody and I say, so there's 100% a trap between us and the gate. I don't know about you, but I'm less inclined to keep walking if there's a trap. What do we do?
Okay. Do we know that? Well, okay. We don't know that all undead are bad necessarily, right? Like,
we made friends in the bar that one time in the pub.
And in the hacks room.
Mm-hmm. True.
So maybe, I don't know. The smell is very different. This is probably bad.
Last time we smelled something like this, it did not go well.
You think they made the trap like maybe they're smart?
I mean, I see it this way, right? We kill them, they're either bad, or if they're good, we don't really find out any info if they were good because they're dead. So it doesn't really matter.
Conscience,
we don't have to listen to them complain about that they're good. So it's a win-win, really, if we just kind of do a little bit of a hack and slash, I think.
You know, I'm for it.
Yeah, and you see Dragomir's like clearly on edge because this is the fort where Keswick is, and so it's just kind of reaching back for his hammer, like fully in with Fel's plan to go, and it's like, we got to get in there, let's do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to? Are we rolling initiative, or does anybody have anything else they would like to do before everybody pulls out their weapons?
The trap that Meep found. Did it say if it was a magical trap or anything like that, or it just said it's a trap?
It says an area of affected, but it doesn't reveal. Wait. The spell would sense an area affected. The spell merely reveals that a trap is present. You don't learn the location of each trap, but you do learn the general nature of the danger. Yeah, it just Meep, honestly, you would probably be able to tell just by like the sense, even though you don't know exactly what it is. Like, there's a good chance there's a trap on the door. Okay. It's not something that the shambling humanoids in front of you would have said. It's probably just something on the door to keep things out.
So, yes, magical?
No, it's mechanical.
Okay, mechanical. Okay.
I could also yell. I'm just saying we could yell and see if someone responds back.
Let's yell.
Okay. Lyria, do you mind covering your ears since you're so close?
We should try and surprise these things instead of yelling.
Is anyone there?
Oh my god, Dragomir's friend, are you here? Give me a hoo-hoo if you're there.
So there's no immediate response, but what does happen is the shambling things decide to move in your general direction, and we are going to roll initiative.
Dragomir was probably right in this scenario.
Let's tell him that. It's fine.
I couldn't help.
Your play might have been better, Dragomir, I'll be honest.
So
Oh,
I rolled-
Illyria just. All right. Sorry, Illyria. Boop. Lave. Fel would actually probably maybe like kind of guide Illyria back and just be behind me and stay safe, okay?
You got it.
Meep runs behind Illyria. I'm double safe. I rolled a 5, by the way.
A
Rip.
5,
Oh,
amazing.
rip.
Where
The thing I
fuck are
forgot
others?
was a pen. Hold on just a second.
What?
Don't mind me. It's the zombies. They're really clumsy. They're not zombies. It's fine.
Not so zombies that maybe aren't zombies but might be zombies.
Exactly.
No way for us to know. Just know that they're not.
It's all maybes.
Okay. I'm done being a mess. We're ready. What did everybody get?
I'm not.
19.
19. I think with the same
Uh,
modifier too.
Same modifier? Who wants to go first?
Say it's the same.
I'll go first since Dragomir wanted to talk.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What did Fel
I was
get?
like, yeah, fight.
13.
13. Meep?
5.
And then the zombies. That definitely aren't zombies.
Oh my god, we
Ooh.
got a response message.
Guess who's going
Stream
first?
elements. What the hell?
I don't know why it's back though. I thought I fixed it.
I think it needs to stay forever.
I think it needs to stay forever too.
Stay forever.
So the zombies are slow. They drag themselves forward. But even going as fast as they can, they only get to about 5 feet away from all of you, and unfortunately, that's all of their movements. So they just spend their first turn all walking up to you. So then, Illyria, what would you like to do?
So this newfound knowledge that I have, do I have any sense that it'll be like I should use it here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Channel Divinity, Mark Undead.
Okay. So, when you
I don't know what it looks like.
when you do that, there is a moment where everybody just gets like a wave of existential dread, and there
I
is
got that
a
covered.
sound
Sorry.
like a bell that rings out just
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Exactly. Perfect. Incredible. And then everybody gets a taco. Not sponsored. Hashtag notice me Taco Bell.
Well, we
So
could be.
I'm a crunch wrap
but we
kinda
could
girl,
be. And one of the zombies, whichever one is closest, Illyria, you're the only one who sees this. You see a coin appear above its head, like a little gold coin appear above its head, like just in front of its face. And then you see it get pushed into its forehead and disappear into its skull.
Ew.
And that's what happens.
Am I calling the Reapers to these things?
Like a payphone.
It seems like it.
Okay, so that happened. That was my action, I think.
Yeah, do you have a bonus action you'd like to use?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me see. Is this spell a bonus action? No, of course it's not. But you know which one is spiritual weapon.
Hell yeah.
So, this time it looks like one of the flowers that Fel has taught me about, just a giant version of this beautiful flower. And I'm gonna smack it upside the head with it.
Incredible. Do it.
Okay. So spells. Huh. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that at all, but it's gonna try. That's a 10.
Is that a 10 to hit?
Yep.
Yeah, that hits.
It does? Wow.
It does.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, what's the damage on this? It is here. 12 damage. Wow, I rolled max damage.
What kind of damage is it?
I think that it's force damage. Yeah, force damage.
Okay, cool. I think one of its limbs goes flying. It's still up, but it looks like it looks real bad. It looks real bad. Is that your turn then? That was a bonus
Yeah,
action,
that's
an
my turn.
action. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna
And
stay
then
where I'm at.
sounds good. Dragomir, it's your turn.
So you said there were 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to rush at one of the ones that's not being destroyed by the giant flower, and just run up to it with my. Actually, how big are they? They're like human sized, right?
Yeah, they're like humanoid, so they're people sized.
Only 5 feet away. Can I just throw my net at it? Try and tangle it up?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely you can.
So I'd roll my net attack for that. Where did I put my net? This +6. That's cool. And a 20.
So you rolled a 20?
Oh no, whatever way this works, I have to click on the D20 to add it. So 25 to hit.
Yep, so you threw a net on zombie number 2. And
Okay.
then what would you like to do?
Can I run over and pin it to the ground with my immovable rod?
Yes, you can.
The return of the removable rod. So good.
Okay, so zombie 1 had a bell ring out, and zombie 2 now has a net around it, and an immovable rod pinning it into the ground. So I'm assuming it was your action
That's all
to
of it.
throw the net. Yeah, that's all your stuff. Okay. So that's 2 of them. And that was your turn?
Yeah.
All right, Fel.
So seeing the giant flower just manifest out of the air probably fills Fel with so much joy that it just like this maniacal laughter just comes out of him as he looks up to the sky, and his rage takes over.
Hell yeah.
That's that. And yeah, the usual, you see the fingernails grow more again, the fur kind of come out more. He pulls out his glaive and like just run towards one of them that hasn't been attacked, and like probably what you wouldn't expect, but like combat rolls actually in front of it, and like takes the glaive and like tries to shove it and like raise the damn thing like up into the sky with the glaive.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I can do this. We did
You
this
can do
last
this.
week. We did this. Okay. Oh, I have 2 attack. Oh my god. Oh, I just remembered. Okay.
What'd you get?
Natural 20.
Hell yeah, you did. Hell yeah, you did. For fun, roll damage. Just I just
Okay.
want to see something. I just
Yeah.
want to see something.
Okay. So that's plus 16 on top of what I'm about to roll in general. So 2d10. 9, 10, 11 plus 16, 27.
So I think we get like this very dramatic shot in like the evening light of like Fel just like taking off and like moving forward, and like his rage just like taking over him, and then he rolls and like we see like the glaive come up, and then we get like a really dramatic shot of like this, it's like with like the sunset in the background, and then just like the silhouette of like the zombie like impaled on a glaive. And then would you like whip it off, or like would it go flying? Like What do you want? What do you want to happen as you murder this thing?
Is this one dead?
It's super
Like,
dead. It's so dead.
Would it be possible, since I have another attack, to like while it's on the stick, like kind of swing it around my head and go towards the next one next to like another one and try to hit it with the thing on the
absolutely, you
glaive?
can do that.
Okay.
I live for the rule of cool, so hell yeah.
Sometimes you gotta beat a dude with another dude.
Well, from a natural 20 to, even though I have advantage, one of them was a 1 and the other one was a 2. So how does
What are your
a
modifiers?
9 sound?
A 9 hits.
What?
They're corpses. What do you want from me?
Okay. Yeah. 18 damage.
Okay, this one's still alive. But it looks kind of bad. I mean, it already looks kind of bad, but it looks a little bit more dead than it did before. Which honestly, you should be proud of yourself. That's an accomplishment. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I
Two
would probably, if I hit him,
attacks?
I would probably then just for shits and giggles like rip the zombie in half to take it off the glaive and just
Yeah.
like clean it
Yeah.
off so it's
Yeah,
ready
gotta
to
clean
go.
it off. I feel like we get one of those anime shots of you like putting your arm out like that, and then like all of like the blood and stuff like flying off the glaive. Yeah, absolutely.
For blood, like billowing in the wind and everything. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
obviously. Beautiful. And then Meep.
Hi.
Hi. It's your
So,
turn. I did add
yeah.
a crossbow to your sheet just so you know it's on there.
I have a crossbow.
You
Yay.
do.
Okay. Well, Meep was standing near Fell when this was all happening, and she got completely like tidal waved with blood. So she kind of just like gets a little bit of that, flicks that off of her. And then she gets ready, and I'm just wondering, have we annihilated these zombies? Like, how many are left? We have 1.5, 2.5.
One of them is trapped in a rod. One
Okay.
of them is actually dead, and then there are 2 left.
So
yeah.
I'm still new to D&D, just this is a disclaimer for everybody, so I don't know if I can do this or not, but I would like to distract the 2. Meep is realizing that she's maybe not as strong as she wants to be in combat. So maybe a little sneaky run between their feet to distract them while the people attack them around her is a good idea. Is that something that we can do potentially with Summon Fae?
You'd like to summon a fae to distract some undead?
Yes.
Yeah, let's give that a go.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
I'd like to see what happens
Okay.
with that. So, is it just called Summon Fae?
Summon Fae, yeah. You call forth the
Beautiful.
Fae spirit, manifests as an occupied space. In an unoccupied space, you can see within range. Shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately after yours.
Okay.
So level 3, I think.
Would you like to be fuming, mirthful, or tricksy?
I think mirthful. I was trying to decide between tricksy or mirthful, but I think mirthful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the creature that is called forward. So when you summon a fey creature, there is like a sparkly sound. And then it's like you see a brief like ripple in the air.
Okay.
And this little gremlin thing pops out of the hole. There's like beautiful sparkling sounds, and like this thing that pops out, its skin is red, its mouth is super wide like a toad, its eyes are like kind of bugging out, and it like its arms are like that, and it looks to that side and it looks to that side and says, "What do you need?"
Oh, no. Make their lives hard, or lack of lives.
It gives you a thumbs up and it goes, "Gotcha." And it starts like waddling towards the zombies.
Oh, not the waddle.
It's waddling.
So when you do this, one of the materials required is a very special flower. So does Meep have like a flower in her hair or something that she would use for this spell?
Maybe does Meep have a flower in her hair? She needs a flower? Uh-oh. Does it have to, can it be any flower? It's specifically a certain type of flower that she has to have on her.
It is a specific flower, but you know somebody who grows flowers on them.
I was gonna say.
And they're standing right in front of you.
Hey, Fel?
Yeah.
I need a little bit of help to have our little dude right here help us out with this. Do you have one of those shiny little flowers that makes this all pop? Like, I forget what it's called. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, you're talking about the ridgeback. Yes.
Yeah.
You pull just out of the flower crown. There.
Thank you.
So the second you have this in your hand, the little red creature grabs the flower and sticks it in its mouth and like it goes like nom nom and like eats it, and there's like little bits of like flower petal that get like stuck on its face.
How does Fel feel about that?
And it consumes the flower. And then runs at your enemies.
All right. I'm cheering it on, just for the record. Like, I'm like bouncing back and forth, like, go get him! And yeah, cheerleading.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting its hit points set up. Okay. That is your action. You are now concentrating. So if you're going to cast another spell, that it can't be one that uses concentration, because you are focusing on keeping this thing here.
Okay.
Do you have a bonus action that doesn't use a spell slot? Because if you have spells that are bonus actions, you can't do 2 spells in one turn.
Gotcha. Let me take a quick look. Bonus action. Sorry, I haven't used many of my bonus actions, I don't think.
Yeah, I can't think. You might be able to turn into an animal as a bonus action.
I was about to ask if that was a bonus.
I think your wild shape might be it, if you wanted to. You don't have to.
I could, though, and since you said that I could, I think I'm going to. I would like to be... I'd like to be a raccoon. I'd like to be a trash panda.
Of course you could do that. Absolutely, you can be a raccoon.
Is it a big one? Can it be big? Does it matter what size it is? Or
let me take a quick look. Let's take a quick look.
I just think if anything's going to win against zombies, it's probably a large raccoon.
We wouldn't know either way, so it is now.
Yeah.
So there isn't technically like a giant raccoon, but we can just reskin something.
Okay. Oh, right. Let me see the animals.
We could just reskin a brown bear to be a massive raccoon. I think
big
that
scary
works.
Raccoon. Perfect.
Yeah.
Raccoon that can end your life. Perfect.
Perfect. So you've used your action. You've used your bonus action. Would you like to move?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I have a limit? Like how can I move?
As a bear, your speed is 40. And all of the zombies are within that range.
Okay.
You also have a climbing speed of 30 feet, and you are surrounded by trees.
All right. So I'm as fast as Fel. I'd just like to state for the record here now. I would like, I don't know if this is doable again. I'm new. Am I able to just like climb up a tree and launch myself to another tree and like run back and forth? Like same thing as what my little summon fey creature is doing. Just distract the out of people. That's what I'm trying to do. Distract them. So like you just see a raccoon bear flying from tree to tree and then running, scurrying as fast as it can back and forth.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. That'll distract
Okay,
them.
so we're gonna look at this from Fel's perspective. So Fel, Meep asks you for a flower, and then this tiny little, like, bright red Danny DeVito looking like runs out, like munching this flower as it like runs like that, and it's like huffing and puffing towards these zombies, and then behind you, you hear whatever it sounds like when a tiny little elf transforms into a giant raccoon, and then you hear scurrying sounds of something climbing a tree and then jumping, and then you hear like the grunting of this animal as it jumps to another tree, and as you look up, there's a massive raccoon in the tree.
This is why I'm doing this. This is why. Just yelling.
Can
Best
she
adventure
talk?
ever.
No,
No,
Oh, damn.
she thinks she is.
you just hear raccoon chittering, but it's like way deeper than it would normally be.
You killed me at Danny DeVito.
Little Danny DeVito's running around.
And I think that's all. That's everything that Meep could do. So it's the zombies' turn now. So one of the zombies is in pieces on the ground. Another
the one
one
that had the coin, or no?
No, not that one.
Okay.
So one of them is one of them's disassembled on the ground. One of them is struggling underneath a net with an immovable rod keeping it there. And then two of the other ones, one of them is being hit by the magical flower, and the other one got backhanded with a glaive. So the two at the front, how smart.
I have a question.
Okay.
Isn't the little fairy thing supposed to go right after me?
Yes, thank you. It's Danny DeVito's turn.
Hey,
Does it have a name? Can I give it a name? Can I call it Danny DeVito?
You can give it a name,
It's Danny
absolutely.
DeVito. Okay.
Okay. So Danny goes running.
Yeah.
And it starts blasting. It actually has a short sword, so it pulls out a blade, and it goes and like starts like stabbing at one of the knees of the zombie. So it is going to attack. It has 2 attacks with a +3 to hit, so that is a 11 + 3, which hits. So it hits one of the zombies, and it does 1d6. +3 plus the spell's level piercing damage plus 1d6 force damage. So the spell is level 3, so 1d6 +3 +3 plus another 1d6. So 2d6 + 6. Okay. We're doing math. That's a 1. And that is a 5. So that is 6 + 6. So it does 12 damage. So the one zombie, it makes like angry like noises. And then Danny attacks again because it gets 2 attacks. So that is a 4 + 3. So that's melee weapon attack +3 plus the spell's level. So 4 + 3 is 7 plus the spell's level. So 10. So it does hit. And then it's another 2d6 + 6. So that's 2. And that's a 6. So that's 8 + 6 is 14. So yeah, the zombie that got backhanded by the glaive dies because Danny goes and wails it with a little knife, and it like screeches and like yells profanities in Sylvan, which sounds really lovely if you don't speak the language.
Wait, actually, I think I
speak
do.
Sylvan.
I think I speak Sylvan.
Del does, yeah.
So anybody who doesn't speak Sylvan, you just hear like this really like nice sounding language coming out of this like gruff little thing. But if you do speak Sylvan, it's saying like you I'm gonna and then it's like bleep bleep. We get like the censor bleep sounds. And that's Danny's turn. So now it is the zombie's turn. There's one left. It takes a step forward, and this is the one that had the coin press into its forehead. And the second it takes a step forward, right behind it, a door appears, opens up, and then a whole bunch of black tentacles come flying out, grab this thing, pull it in, the door slams closed, disappears. You heard like a bunch of wailing just for like a second, and then it's gone. The zombie is gone. It only took about 2 seconds. and then it's quiet again, other than the one zombie that's stuck in the net. So we're out of initiative now.
Hey, Lyra, do you want to maybe try that again on the living one? That looked kind of cool.
I only get one channel divinity a day. Unfortunately.
Are we in Tentacle Land or something? Like, what is?
I don't know. I've never seen this many tentacles in my life, except the past like 3 weeks with you guys.
It doesn't get easier with every time we see it at all. It's fine.
So
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just like not as a character. Can we just like finish it off so I can have my stuff back while it's like not able to mess with us?
Yeah, I'll like smack it with the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. So,
the flower wolf.
I think rather than process what just happened, everybody just turns to the zombie in the net, and we get like a shadow of we get the shadowy silhouette of the four of you, the good quote unquote good guys, over this zombie that's trapped in a net. And that's actually where we're gonna take our first break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a good break. I hope you had a minute to stretch and have a drink of water and all those things that you need to do. So, in case you've joined us recently and you'd like to get caught up on what's doing, Illyria had a conversation with a Reaper. She only died a little bit, but she's okay. She was given an ability called, instead of turn undead, it's mark undead. But she wasn't totally sure what that did. The party ventured further into the south of the jungle and reached the gates of the Stronghold. But at the gates, they were confronted by some shambling undead creatures. To which Illyria went, I'm going to try this thing out. And she got to watch as a coin was popped into its head. And a few moments later, a massive door opened up. There was sounds of shrieking. Tentacles reached out, grabbed one of the zombie that the coin was deposited in, pulled it back in. The door slammed shut. The door disappeared. Other important details, Meep summoned a Fae. Danny. His name is Danny. He's very small, and he has a knife, and he will up. And Meep is also currently a raccoon the size of a bear, jumping back and forth in between trees.
Yes.
So we come back to our party, standing outside this gate. The zombies are all gone now. 3 of the corpses lay in front of you. What would you like to do?
As we approach the gate, I don't think because spiritual weapon is silly and it doesn't require concentration. So I technically still have detect evil and good going. It lasts for 10 minutes. As we approach the gate, do I detect any more undead or fiends or anything?
As you walk towards the gate, you think you get a whiff of something about like 30 feet off, but just as you think you find something, it goes away. You do sense that it seems like just beyond the gates somebody has tried to consecrate. Like it seems like the grounds are a little bit consecrated just within the gates. But that's all you get.
Okay, so they're trying to ward, like consecrate would be trying to get rid of the evil thing.
Yeah,
right?
they've done something to like purify the area by the gates to mark it as holy and to hopefully ward off evil spirits.
Okay. I'll just warn the group. We may not. There may be more undead. There was something, but I think as I moved closer, it moved away.
How many more?
I don't
Like
I
a
don't know.
horde?
No
Like
idea.
like a quartet?
I wish I knew.
Are you still a raccoon bear?
Oh, right. How long does that last?
Yeah, how long does that last?
The wild shape?
Yeah.
I think that can last. Sorry, I have a bunch of notes open. Wild shape.
I should know this technically, so let me pull that up too.
You can stay in a beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level, rounded down. So you're level 5, so you can stay in this shape for 2 hours.
You don't need to be worried.
Yeah. I'm still the same.
Okay.
Fel would probably still. I think I'm still raging because I haven't dropped it yet. So you just kind of see like like how he looks when he's in a rage. Walk up to the gate and just like pound on it and just like let us in.
I join in Fel with what he's doing because am I taller than him? I am the same size as him. Like how tall am I? Yeah.
Like a
You
bear,
are the size of
bigger,
a bear,
right?
but like a raccoon. Yeah.
Perfect.
You're
I
pretty
have
big.
no idea. Like I'm not used to this raging in the same way, so I just run up and like totally mimic what he's doing on the door. Yeah, except growling.
Yeah, so you hear a voice yell from the other side, "Turn undead!"
No,
What?
We're not undead.
you turn
Turn
undead.
undead!
Turn alive.
You're a raccoon.
You're a raccoon.
Ah!
Wait, sorry. There's just someone on the other side of the door just yelling, "Turn undead!" Like they're trying to cast a
Yeah.
spell.
So just to double check, I just want to double check. You both go up to the door and knock on it.
Aggressively.
Bang on it.
Yes.
And scratch.
Okay.
Like someone who wants that
so-
fresh Krispy Kreme donut right at the morning, but they haven't opened the doors yet.
Oh
So
my
like,
God.
Have danger sense, Fel?
I do actually.
Okay, so you will have advantage on a dexterity saving throw for the trap that's on the door. So if you could both make a dexterity saving throw, I'd really appreciate that.
Dexterity. Okie dokie.
Okay. 17.
17? Okay, so you managed to dodge. Meep, for you, your roll will be affected by the fact that you're a giant raccoon.
Okay.
I
got 8.
So you,
But that's with the
okay.
+2.
And that's let's just look at your dex, because a brown bear has a dex of 10. You have a dex of 15, but unfortunately right now you're a raccoon, but we're just using the brown bear stats. So you don't actually get the +2.
Okay, so 6.
Okay, so you take 10 damage.
Ow.
But you don't take that as Meep. You take that as the raccoon. So currently, just somewhere else, write down that you are at 24 out of 34 raccoon hit points. But when you turn back into Meep, that damage doesn't carry over.
Okay, 24 out of 34 raccoon points.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get stung by a trap on the door. But Fel has just a natural ability to sense danger, and so you dodged it just in the nick of time. Yeah, you did. You did.
Why did we run at the
He's raging, so he's not exactly thinking super clear at the moment. Like
She's just enjoying being a large raccoon bear. So
as a giant raccoon, you take this damage. Do you make a large screaming raccoon noise?
oh yeah, like I'm doing the full like screeching and like the like little cookie noises that they make. Like I'm angry and hurting.
So you hear one voice yell, "Go get the captain! We can't handle this!" And then the other person frantically going, "Turn undead! Turn undead! Turn undead!"
I'll yell out, "The undead are dead? They're gone. We took care of them."
You can't kill the undead.
What? Okay, but
They're already dead.
We did.
but look at their corpses. They're not moving anymore.
That's what an undead would say. And then the other one's like, "The undead don't say anything." And they're like, they're getting smarter.
What kind of cleric are you?
A really brave one.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
you're
real
lying.
The raccoon chitters.
you yelling, "Turn undead! What's your name?"
Zeril.
Garrett, is that you?
Zero,
Turn
my
it
name is Fel. We just killed these things, and you're being a idiot. Let us in.
We're not supposed to let anybody in.
That's fun because I'm 2 seconds away from destroying your door.
Please don't destroy the door. We don't have any budget left over to replace it again.
Oh, then surprise, open
So-
it.
I think at this point, after listening to this whole mess, Dragner is just kind of going to take a step forward and say, "Hey, Zeril, is Keswick in there by any chance? He asked us to come help with the monsters."
You know Keswick?
Yeah, he's my best friend. It's Dragomir.
Wow. Dragomir. Well, if you know Keswick, it's probably fine. And then like you hear like somebody go and start like cranking something. And the doors slowly like open like a little bit at first. And then somebody comes and like peeks out and they kind of go, oh, and they see a massive raccoon. And Danny, who's just kind of like hanging out around your ankles. Who will be there for up to an hour if you would like him to be.
Can I put Danny on my shoulders?
Yeah, I guess raccoons have thumbs, right? So you can just kind of like
they're
grab him
dexterous.
Mhm.
and then just he kind of like his, you know, when you pick up an Animal Crossing villager and they do like the wiggle,
Thing.
wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, he does one of those, but he doesn't. Well, he swears a little bit. And so now you have a little demon on your little, massive raccoon shoulder.
It's like both legs on
Um,
one side kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, you see Zeril sticking his little face out, and he's just like, "What is that?" And then the other guy is like, "That's rude. You can't just yell, 'What is that?' at a raccoon." And then he's just like, "But there's a," and then they're like, "Stop being rude. Open the gate."
I look
And then
visibly
they go and they.
In a raccoon way.
Raccoon away.
They go and open the gates. After they basically just wait for all of you to pass in through. And then they close up the gates and you see somebody, you see Zeril, who is a halfling, who is in chainmail that's like a little bit too big for him. And he's closing the door.
As we pass Zeril, I like right before the rage ends, I want to just like dome hit him like with the bottom of my fist, just like that.
Okay, yeah, you give him a, are you trying to do damage?
Enough to leave like a nasty like holy crap that hurts really bad, but not enough to actually like kill him.
Okay, just roll just like a regular attack just to see if you hit him because he's quite short.
That's a long way down.
do I add anything to this or like strength or anything? or-
What do you normally add to your attack? Strength?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can add that.
Technically I am raging. So is it a strength
wear
check?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, that's worse. So yeah, so it's a strength, it's an 18.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, they got a 7. So even with their stuff, that doesn't matter. So yeah, you bop him on the head, and he just. It's like hitting a peg for a tent. He just kind of like goes into the ground. Like the ground around him just it like implodes, and like he's now like waist up with his legs in the ground. And he goes, "Ah, what the?" And then he sees you, and he goes, and then he doesn't say anything.
Okay, drop rage.
Hi,
Okay.
you're not undead.
Well, we
Wait
can
a-
see that now.
But I think somebody in the stronghold might be.
That shouldn't. No, we have been removing all potential undead people so that wouldn't happen.
You sound confident.
I don't know. I have detect evil and good vision, and somebody in here is looking a little undead or maybe fiendish.
You can detect evil and good. Oh wow, that's so cool. Wait, are you a cleric?
Yeah, I thought you were too.
Oh, I am, but I can't cast that.
Oh,
I hate every NPC in this world. Oh my god, I can't.
it's a
Every
level 1
guard in
spell.
this
What's
world.
wrong?
I get scared every time I go to do it. And so I just told
Oh.
them that I couldn't. Please don't tell my boss.
Okay. That's kind of weird, but sure.
Listen, I didn't want to be a guard. I didn't want to do this. You know what? What were you looking for, Keswick?
We were. Where can you want to take us to
Where's
Keswick? That'd be great.
I need a little help getting out of the ground first.
Well, do you think you could take him out of where you put him?
Hold out my arm and pull him out.
He tries to look dignified as he brushes himself off, and fails. Well, I will take you, and then, Quinn, you stay here and watch the gate because I have to take the travelers to see Keswick. So you're on, and then Quinn is just like, we're not supposed to be alone at the gate. There's always supposed to be two of us. And Zeril is like, but I have to take them to go see Keswick, which is obviously very important. Obviously, these are very important people. And Quinn's just like, just say you're scared. And Zeril is like, well, you know what? We're gonna go. I'll send somebody back, and it'll be fine. And then Zeril says, "Come this way," and starts leading you into the stronghold. So it is evening. There is a twilight sky above you. And as you go in, this stronghold, it's not like there's not like stone buildings and taverns and shops because this is a fort for adventurers who are traveling into the south. This is a place where adventurers pass through. And currently it is a safe haven for people who would normally like nomads and people who would live in this jungle and tribes, but currently a lot of people are here. And so there's kind of this vibe of like a lot of tents set up just in like anywhere where there's a space. The shops don't have like they're like ramshackle buildings. Instead of shops, it's more like people like distributing supplies rather than people just like buying things. And you're led for a little while, like maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. Zeril doesn't seem chatty. And he leads a giant raccoon with a fey on its shoulder and the rest of you all through the town. You get some looks, but druids are also very common around these parts. So less looks than you would actually expect. And then you're taken to a large tent. And Zeril goes up to the guard at the front and was like, these people know Keswick. Dragomir and Dragomir's friends, they came at the gate. It looked like there was some like actual corpses that weren't moving when I peeked outside. So that's kind of neat. They seem to have managed to kill some of the dead people. So that's, and the other guard looks at them and is like, get back to your post. And they're like, yes, absolutely, sir. And like runs off.
Can I trip him before he leaves?
Oh my god.
Just stick my foot out.
He takes a wide berth around you. He wants nothing to do with you.
Damn.
He's just like, no. Like he kind of like does one of those and then he takes off. And so the guard who's standing at the tent, she is a winter eladrin. So she looks very like elf-like, but she looks like if winter was a person. She has long like blue hair that looks like it gets like a lighter in color as it goes to like the ends of her hair. And her skin is also like a dark blue color with like a frost pattern around her face, and she has like very like dark blue eyes. And she says, may I ask your name so that I can report inside and see if they have time to see you right now?
Yeah, so I'm Dragomir, of course, Keswick has time for me.
She does not smile. She just looks at you and goes, I will let Keswick know. And we will let you know if he has time to see you. Please wait here. And then she goes into the tent.
Dragomir,
wait,
is this a situation where you're actually friends with this person, or are you performing here?
Keswick is basically my brother.
Is that feeling mutual?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
We traveled for years, like at 10 or 15 of them for sure.
And yeah, like after just a couple minutes, the tent doors burst open, and a half-elf man walks out. He has curly blonde hair, and the second he sees Dragomir, he like opens up his arms and he's like, "Dragomir, bring it in, bring it in!"
And we just give him the biggest bear hug because we haven't seen Keswick in like forever. Like it's been couple of years type thing at least, and it's you can just like kind of see that this is the kind of bond you don't.
Yeah, and he like pats you on the face, and he's just like, "You look a little older than the last time I saw you," and then he like belly laughs, and it's like, "But you're still as handsome as ever. It's so good to see you. I'm so happy that you came.
How have you been? I see you have maybe a little problem outside, but let's catch up first."
Absolutely. Well, technically, I'm still on duty, so I do have to bring you in. But afterwards, we could go get drinks. We can have a nice evening. We can tell each other. I want to hear about what's going on. And like after it's been a moment, Dragomir, you do notice Keswick is a half elf, so it's very rare to see him look much older, even if it's like a couple of years. They don't live as long as regular elves, but they still do live a while. But you can see that even though he's like laughing, he's very happy to see you. But you can tell his hair is a little whiter on the edges, and like he has like stress, like wrinkles on his face. He looks older in a way that you wouldn't expect. And yeah, he leads you in, and he starts being like, "Oh, like this," he like says hi to every single person he passes by, and like pats people on the back, and he's like, "Look at that raccoon! That's wild! You must be a druid." And shows everybody inside the tent.
While we were walking, did I detect any more undead or fiends or anything inside the stronghold?
Does it still smell?
The dead smell is gone.
Okay,
You didn't. Yeah, you didn't pick up on that again. It seems to have moved.
Okay.
Yeah, so is that maybe why Illyria's a little bit more like in her own head right now? She's putting out some feelers, metaphorically speaking. Yeah, so
would this be obvious to people around Illyria? Like, would we be able to tell that she's kind of just in this zone?
I'm being like a little more observant and a lot less talkative than usual. But I mean, you've seen it when I've like used detect magic and other stuff like that too.
Can I do kind of like that anime, like when someone taller like kind of leans down while they're still talking and like get down on her level and just like, how can I help?
Oh, I'm just looking.
I start sniffing around. Sniff in the air.
Do you want to keep walking or do you want to?
No,
Okay.
I think it's gone.
I'm not gonna lie. This is our secret between us. That head pat was actually really nice. So if you ever want to like
I'm telling
that riding,
everyone.
oh, I am opening up to you at this moment.
Okay.
If you ever want a ride again, it's fine.
Okay. Maybe next time I need to like see around.
Oh, I like that. Like a telescope.
Like a periscope, yeah.
Periscope, yeah. Whatever thing. Spyglass.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go back up here now.
I squat down and go and point at my back to Illyria.
So as Dragomir and Keswick are like just like chatting and catching up, and Keswick's kind of like, you know, being like, oh, and you know, this person and oh, that person, and you know, the things you do when you see somebody that you haven't seen in a long time. I don't know. I don't talk to people. In the background of all of this is Illyria and Fel kind of like having a moment, and a giant raccoon just like goes by in the background sniffing things and like knocks over a table and like is like sniffing like a dog as it goes around with this little fey creature on its shoulder that's just like, oh, you haven't sniffed over there, and that person looks suspicious, but they're saying it in Sylvan, so not everybody in the room can understand. So around this table, Keswick introduces you to two different people, and you, Dragomir, you immediately get the sense, just based on knowing Keswick and knowing how social situation works, that these three people are co-workers who have to put up with each other. There's a large map. There's a massive table in the middle with a large map and a bunch of like little like statues and stuff like that, like you see in the fantasy shows. And there's like drinks all around, and there's like somebody who's like an assistant who their job is to like push the things around. And the people that stand out is well, Keswick and two other people. So Keswick, for the sake of the audience, he's a half elf. He is like probably like 5'8" or so. He has blonde curly hair, freckles. He's looking a little older. He carries a large crossbow on his back, and in the corner there is a large black panther who is curled up, who, being fantasy people in a fantasy world, you would recognize that Keswick is a ranger, and that is his animal companion, who stays near him. The other people at the table, there is a water genasi. So she is very tall and like well built. She has her hair is in a ponytail, but her hair looks like water, and so the ponytail kind of like glides upwards, and like it just constantly looks like it's like waving at a different gravitational pull. And Keswick introduces you to her. She is Moonlit Reflections on Stillwater is her name, but she says you can just call me Moonlit. And then the third person at this table is Nelseer. He is a wood elf, and he is jumpy and nervous from the second you say hello. But he is very well dressed. Everybody else looks like they're wearing very like practical things, and like different like animal skins and armor. He is dressed in a very fine robe. So that just gives you some information about the three people in front of you. And Keswick said, we're actually just in the middle of a discussion. And then Moonlit interrupts and says, we were arguing. We were having an argument. That is what was going on. And Keswick goes, I think it was just more of a heated or turbulent discussion. And he kind of, and she just looks not happy at all. And Nelseer is like wringing their hands, and they're like, I just think we need to leave. I just think we need to leave. And then Moonlit asks Keswick, who are these people, the help that you sent for? And then Keswick goes, yes, Dragomir is my oldest friend. We could trust him with this. And Dragomir, would you introduce us to your friends?
Absolutely. So the tall one over there, that's Fel. Don't mess with plants. Doesn't do well with people. Don't mess with plants. And there's Illyria. We traveled, sang a bunch of songs. She's very good at fire. And the raccoon doesn't always look like a raccoon. That's Meep. Meep is a lot of energy. You're gonna like Meep. And then I just kind of yelled them to come over because they're like a little bit away, right?
Yeah.
You're having a little conversation. So I just kind of yell to the three. So, hey, Val, meet Blair, come over. This is the people we're supposed to help.
I think you would actually. You said Moonlit is her.
Yeah, moonlit
name?
reflections on still
Moonlit.
water.
Okay.
I think you would actually see like a little tiny bit, not much, but like a little bit of like blush on the ears of Fel when like he just like introduces or is introduced to Moonlit.
And like as they make their way over, I would just kind of tell them everybody's name so that they're kind of caught up because they wouldn't have heard it from the first little bit.
Mm-hmm. Just to clarify, does Meep stay as a raccoon right now?
Yes.
Moonlit actually looks unsurprised and unfazed by everything. But Nelseer is just like, these are the adventurers that you called for. We are in dire straits, and these are the people that you called. That one's a raccoon. And then Moonlit actually like pulls out a dagger and like throws it into the table, like just in front of him. And he stops talking, and she goes, "These are guests that Keswick has brought into our home. We will talk with them, and we will make an informed decision as a group." And then he stops talking.
Ears get a little bit redder.
So Keswick kind of like goes like, ah. So welcome to the Stronghold. We're so happy that you're here. You just caught us in the middle of a conversation. Let me catch you up with what is going on, because we're not really sure what's going on. A few weeks ago, dead people stopped staying dead. I don't know how else to explain it, but now anytime somebody dies, like before, we had contacts in the Adventurers Guild, we would arrange things so that when people died, if we were able to recover our bodies, we could figure out what they wanted to happen and do the funeral rites. But now it seems like no matter what we do, they just don't stay dead. And so we are struggling to keep a hold of our own city, let alone deal with the monster problem. And Moonlit interrupts and says, "We can handle this. It will be okay. We have the clerics who can keep them away from the gates. We need to investigate the monster problem in case it's related." And then Nelseer like speaks up, and like their voice cracks at first, and they go, "I think it's just time for us to leave. It's time for us to go. We can't stay here anymore. We can't deal with the monsters. We can't deal with the dead people not dying. It's time for us to go. We'll go back up to Anira's gates. We'll leave this area. We'll bring everybody with us. And we will buckle down over there where we have more resources and we can actually access sky travel." And then Moonlit glares at him, and he kind of peters off and stops talking. And Keswick kind of like turns back to you, Dragomir, and is like, "So as you can see, we have a slight disagreement about how we should proceed. But the undead problem it's manageable, but it's interfering with our ability to do research. And if we can't research why the monsters are pushing forward, then that could be related. Like they happen around the same time. So I think we need to go south. We need to deal with this problem and then go south." And then the three of them just start arguing.
So this is fun and all. But if you left, where exactly would you go? Like, aren't all of your supplies here, and you built all this already?
Nelseer speaks up and is just like, "Well, as you can see, these buildings aren't exactly permanent structures. We have a gate here, but this was supposed to just be a stopping point for adventurers or a resting point for the locals. We're not set up here to fight. We need to retreat. We need to go back up north to the city of Anira's gates. And we can deal with the monster problem up there without having to deal with the undead problem on top of this."
Unless the undead problem is up there too.
As far as I've heard, I haven't heard anything about the dead walking up there.
When's the last time you heard from up there? You wouldn't even let us in. So, are you taking messages?
We occasionally receive word on the sending stones. And as far as we're aware, their dead are staying died.
So the problem is around here.
It appears to be around here. We haven't heard of it being an issue anywhere else but here. The
Shouldn't we
clerics.
fix the problem around here if that's the problem? You know, you
We
call us
can
in for a
just-
reason. Certainly deal with it.
Well, we can't deal with two problems at once. We need to leave, deal with the monster problem, and then later we can come back after we have more research and we have more resources, and people who are trained for this can come deal with it.
And you see Dragomir just look at Moonlit and say, what do you think about retreating? Because I think this person's just a little scared.
Moonlit just, like, there's no smile, there's no laugh. Moonlit just nods and goes, Nelseer is afraid. Nelseer is afraid because they don't understand what's going on. We need to stay here. We need to take care of the people who are here. Not all of them would be able to retreat with us. We need to stay here and protect the people that are here.
I just look at Keswick and go, okay. You called me down here. What's the plan? What's the play?
Keswick smiles, and like for the first time since you've seen him today, he looks a little relieved. And he goes, well, now that we have the help of, and he gestures to a giant raccoon, a fire lady, a firebolg who's blushing from the ears, and Dragomir. And he goes, now that we have some help and resources, I think we need to deal with this undead problem and find out what's causing this so that we can focus on the monster problem. And it's almost a really cool moment. But then a giant raccoon swings and turns around, and its butt like smacks into a table and like knocks some stuff off of a shelf, and it all goes like clattering in the background. And the little thing on its shoulder snickers and goes and Moonlit says very dryly, well, the fate of our city is in your hands. And I know it's a little bit early, but I think we'll take our second break there.
Oh God.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had an absolutely lovely break. We sure did. I don't know what to tell you. These people are wild. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a good break. And it's so good to be back. So the story so far is that our adventurers were traveling in the jungle. They're answering the call of Keswick, who is a dear friend of Dragomir's, to come to a stronghold to help with a monster problem. They have now reached the stronghold after a run-in with a Reaper and some zombies and a moody guards person. And now they are meeting with the leaders of this stronghold to try and decide what to do. So Moonlit Reflections on Stillwater is a druid genasi, and she would like to deal with the plague in the city and just deal with the monsters. Keswick is a ranger. He would like to stay in the city, investigate south to discover why the monsters, because he thinks the monster problem is related to the undead problem. Nelseer, who is a rich, nervous wood elf, would like to retreat, abandon the stronghold, and go north to the city of Anira's gate, set up base there, deal with the monster problem, and just not worry about the undead problem right now until they get the monster problem handled. And basically just leave and run away. They have reached an impasse. The three of them, as leaders of the city, have different opinions on how things should be solved. So now that our noble adventurers are here, they are going to help decide what course will be taken. So when we come back, I think I don't think we're in the tent anymore. I think they basically decided to disband for the evening because it's already late. Give the adventuring party some time to think and talk amongst themselves, and then they will reconvene in the morning. So when we come back, Keswick is leading you all towards, there isn't really like an inn here. They're leading you towards an area where you can make camp within the walls of the stronghold. And he's just kind of talking about like the way things have been the past few weeks, how with like the monsters and people not staying dead, they don't really have like a solution. So they've just been taking dead bodies and placing them outside the gates, and they'll deal with them later. How the stronghold is a lot more full than normal because the nomads and tribes of this area are now within the gate instead of wandering around in the jungle because of how dangerous things have become recently. And he's just kind of talking about how work has been a little wild recently as he leads you all towards this rest area. I think by now, just because with the time it took to meet everybody and talk for a while and reconvene and traveling throughout the town, I think Danny's gone because Danny only sticks around for about an hour. So a little while ago, he poofed, and he's no longer here.
Can I be Meep again too?
Yes, you can be Meep again. So you're
No, it's
no
fun,
longer
though.
a raccoon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Keswick is just leading you all towards an encampment. What would you
So-
like to do?
So we're just kind of walking over there.
Yep.
So how long ago you say this happened? Like 3 or 4 weeks you started running into this problem?
It must have been 4 weeks ago now that we first started noticing it.
Interesting. Well, I think you've had enough work for today, friend. We should probably get those drinks.
He's like, absolutely, let's go get the drinks. I know a place. And so first you go to like where the encampment is. You see a whole bunch of like tents and fires, like different people. There are tabaxi, which are cat people. There are yantis, which are snake people. There are elves. There are halflings. There are all sorts of people camping in this large open area. And within it, a few people have set up just like very loose like stalls and tents. And there's one person who is set up. They are a tabaxi, and they have a stall set up with like a little awning. And Keswick leads you and introduces you to One Leaf, who is a tabaxi who is providing drinks and wares to the camp. Keswick says, I only have time for one drink. I've had a very long day, and we have an early morning again tomorrow. It's been a lot of weeks, but first round's on me. And so he gives One Leaf a couple of coins, and One Leaf pours each of you an ale. They don't have a lot of options right now. Yeah, everybody can have a drink.
You just kind of see Dragomir look at Keswick and give him a little wink and say, absolutely, just one round.
He laughs and he's like, I mean it this time. This is different than it was in Asfashar. It's different here. I can only have one drink. I have a lot more responsibility than I did back then.
Then Dragomir just kind of takes out his lute. You still play though? And then just starts in on a little bit of a song for everybody.
You literally see his hand twitch before he reaches into his cloak and pulls out like a set of what's it called? Like what it's like a bunch of like pipes in a row. Pardon?
Pan flute?
Yeah, pan
yeah.
flute. Thank you. I thought you said bagpipes, and I was like, absolutely not. Yeah, he pulls out a pan flute about halfway through his drink, and you have a feeling you could convince him to stick around if you would like to. And yeah, you have there's space nearby. You can set up camp while you have your drinks. There you don't really like there's not like seats in front of this Khajiit stall because you're in an encampment. So you get the drinks and then you head back to where you can put up your stuff.
And there's a lot of people in here, right? Like it's kind of like okay.
Yeah, you would guess there's maybe 200 people camping here, and then there is also like buildings of people who have lived here, and so within those buildings there's maybe another 150.
Is there a way for Fel to, I don't know if it's like get a bottle from behind the bar or like multiple drinks, and he's probably gonna give a look to everybody, just like a nod, and like want to get away from so many people, and probably just tell everybody that I'll meet you here or wherever we want to in the morning, but this is too many people for my liking, so I'm gonna try to find a spot a little bit more less than this.
So no watch shift for you. Got it.
Yeah, I died today, so I'm still kind of recovering from that, and I kind of
Me
had to
too.
kill the thing that I love a lot, so there's a lot going on up here, so there's too much talking for my liking.
There's just enough talking for my liking. So
And like as I'm kind of playing, doing a little bit of a show, I see Fel heading off and just give him like a little, like, I understand, like, head bob, because Fel doesn't like people. We know.
The extrovert says goodbye to the introvert.
While we're hanging out, I have a trait called by popular demand, which means that anywhere I like, I can put on a show.
Yeah.
And become
Oh
a
my
local figure, and people will take a liking to me.
You sure
What?
can.
So
I
Oh
also
my
do.
god.
I would.
And-
I will join you.
I can join in
I
as
have
well.
the same trait from our
So
backgrounds.
between Illyria, Keswick, and Dragomir, you put on a music show with fire spinning? Question
Yeah.
mark?
Oh,
Yeah.
like the
Absolutely.
music, like crescendos, like to the flames going like, like as the flames come down, the music dips, and
While we're putting on this show, I would like to cast Detect Evil and Good again.
Yeah.
While we're around lots of people.
Absolutely. You get 2 pings from within the camp.
For undead, same
Yep.
bad taste in my mouth. Okay. What direction?
So you're kind of in the center of things while you're doing this performance.
Mhm.
The ping is in the direction that like the wall of the encampment is in, but you can feel that it's within the wall.
Okay.
is anything happening with the wall at all, or it's just a wall?
It's just a big tall wall made of wood.
I don't want to split the party, but also I already kind of did. So,
Fel's dipped.
when it comes to a natural stopping point, and it like somebody looks like they're very into the show and like could like I don't know, maybe they're dancing, I'll be like, okay, your turn. And I'll like kind of push them into like dance in this circle and then just like slip out.
Okay, so and I think like as Dragomir and Keswick are performing and like Illyria is putting on this fire show, like the mood in the camp is lighter and brighter than it's been in weeks. People haven't had anything new or hopeful or exciting to look forward to. And so you can, and as entertainers, you can all kind of pick up on this vibe of like these people needed something like this. They needed something beautiful and fun to take a break from the world. And what is Meep doing while basically Fel has peaced out and your friends are performing? What does Meep do?
Meep is just soaking it all in. Like she's in the middle of everybody dancing, and she doesn't really know how to dance much, but she's just kind of like bopping a little bit and kind of oblivious, honestly, to everything happening, just enjoying being around so many different types of creatures and people. And yeah.
So I think we get a shot of like Meep and like you're holding the hands of like one person on one side and one person on the other, and like everybody's like spinning in a circle and like dancing, and like there's like the flickering fire of like Illyria doing this show, and then the music. And then after you spin around another time you look, and then the fire show is gone. Like people are still dancing and singing, but now like somebody else is performing and Illyria is gone. And then we, the audience, we get a shot of Illyria no longer glowing and on fire, slipping off into the darkness of the encampment. And then we change perspective and we go see what Fel is up to. So what did Fel look for a quiet spot?
Like probably, if not necessarily a corner, but maybe against the wall, just kind of somewhere where he would still be able to, like, ultimate introvert, still be able to see what's going on, but definitely just out of, like, the best way is auditory, where you can still hear it, but you're not being bombarded with noise, so you still feel like you're kind of by yourself, but you're still in it.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's a spot like that, but
Okay, so do you think you'd be maybe like more up against the wall, or do you think you'd be so basically like there's the wall on one side, and then there's like the camp, and then there's like other buildings like over here. Would you be closer maybe to the buildings, which there are people in those buildings, or would you be closer to the wall, or like
probably
maybe like
the wall, because he still wants to probably not have a roof over his head and like be able to see. I'm assuming. Oh, there's no stars. That's right. Never mind. Just the sky.
Mhm.
And would probably find time to sit, maybe lay out like a rug or something to sit on. Like take the cork or whatever the hell he has and just taking moments to himself of like listening to the revelry and enjoying it in a way of just like, while solitude and being by yourself can be nice, there is something comforting about at least knowing that there's people around. And after a while of drinking and having that good little bit of buzz, he would probably like switch hands or with the bottle and pull out his book that he has all his drawings in, and would turn to the page of the flower, the Australian flower that he's looking for. And take a sip and maybe like kind of even kiss like his hand and put it against the picture, and just looking up into the void and just speaking, not necessarily quietly, but where you're talking to yourself out loud, where he looks up to the void and just Grandma, you told me about this so many years ago, and you failed to convey how difficult it would be to find your favorite flower. And I want to do this in your memory, but it seems to continuously get harder and harder. And I just do not know if I can do this for you. And he takes just a deep breath and just kind of again kisses his hand on the book, on the photo, and closes the book and puts it away, and takes a giant sip out of whatever bottle he has, and kind of just like relax for the first time since before they were even running away from the T-Rex, because even in the creek he wasn't able to fully relax, but there's walls here, there's whatnot, so he kind of just vibes now with just his bottle of alcohol and just listening to the revelry.
And I think it's like, so you have this internal moment of like reflection, of thinking about what you're doing, about what you've been through, about being in this crowd but being alone. And then as you begin to relax and look around, you see Illyria cutting through She's not moving towards you, but she's cutting through the crowd, and you can tell she's not in performer mode. She's not glowing. She is moving with purpose. And you just see her moving through like the rows of the camp. And then we cut back to Illyria. You are following a ping. You are following a feeling, and the feeling isn't moving. And
Okay.
as you are moving and you like walk past somebody's tent, you see a little bit further along, like maybe like just a little bit further ahead, you see two people sitting around a fire. It's just the two of them. They have cloaks around their shoulders. They're holding cups, and they're just talking to each other. And these are the two people who are creating pings for you. One of them is a tiefling. She is bright red all over. She has big curly white hair that is like braided backwards. She has like a lot of accessories on her. She's nicely dressed. And then the man next to her is Drow. He has deep blue skin. He has like a very like wide jaw. He looks a little bit old, like maybe in his like 40s. And they're just sitting having a conversation.
So they don't look like zombies or anything?
No.
I will say, oh, you all don't like the show?
They look over to you, and like the second they hear that you're talking to them, and they look over to you. They were having like like a very like quiet like conversation, but they both, it's like when you see somebody who's working at a store and clearly they're in their head, but then a customer comes through the door, and so they start smiling and they turn on. That's what happens with both of them, and they're like, hello, we haven't and the woman, the tiefling, she speaks, and she's like, oh, I don't think I've seen you around here before. We watched a little bit of the show earlier, but we were looking for a more quiet evening. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, we just got here.
Well, welcome. We don't get many new people these days. A lot of the wanderers and the nomads or the adventurers have stopped doing so, and so a lot of us are here. And she gestures to herself and she says, I'm Trust, and this is my partner, Elwyn.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Illyria.
It's really nice to meet you, Illyria.
How long have the two of you been here in the Stronghold?
Just a couple of weeks. We started, we came adventuring down this way, doing, seeking to do what adventurers do and help with the monsters. And, well, it's a little above our abilities now, so we're waiting here to see what is decided.
Were you part of like a mercenary group or just the two of you adventuring?
We've been adventuring together for quite a while. We used to be a part of a mercenary group back in a different continent, but that was years ago.
Yeah, I've heard that the ground has gotten extra dangerous lately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a little bit. We bit off a little bit more than we could chew when we came down here.
I want to say something, but I don't want to say something. But Illyria probably would say something, and she would probably be like, "Is that how you died?"
The man freezes, like he was, hanging out before, but he just stops moving and like his face falls. But Trust, the tiefling, she's like, I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean, died?
I mean, you're not fully here, are you?
She's still looking at you and she's smiling, but her eyes just dart to Elwyn and then back to you and go,
I'm not gonna hurt you unless you try to hurt me. I don't even need to tell anyone unless something really bad's going on.
He kind of looks at her and she like puts a hand on him and is like, as long as you don't tell anybody, we're not hurting anybody.
So did you get here about 4 weeks ago?
About 2.5 weeks ago.
2.5? Okay. So you can't be causing it. And it's been happening for longer. Okay. I trust you.
Trust.
They don't relax.
How do I help you trust me?
And when you say that, he speaks up and he says, "You cannot tell anybody. They won't believe you." And
The
she
clerics
kind of
are really bad.
she kind of like laughs at this, and she's just like, "Yeah, that's kind of why we're able to be here." And he's still like very tense. But she's like, there are not many places in this world that we can remain unbothered by those who keep undead from this world. We came here because it's safe and we can rest.
Well, I don't know if we have a way to get back to them. But I have been in a place where they can't really see you.
Could you
It's like,
tell us of this place?
well, it was like a hag's realm. And we did, I mean, until a couple weeks ago, we didn't even really know undead was a thing. You know, it's not supposed to be a thing.
Zilzotl works very hard to make sure that those like us don't remain on this world.
But there were a number of creatures and people hidden there from his eyes.
We have not been able to find passage to a Fey dimension.
Let me see what I have listed as what we have. I don't know what these beans do. All I know is we have a bag of beans. But we do have a candle of invocation for the Four Sisters. I don't know if we might be... Well, this Fae was like watching for us. Maybe she's still watching us. I don't know. She kind of just like saved her asses, pulled us out of this plane and into her dimension.
That doesn't sound like any Fae we've met. They don't tend to do favors for free.
I don't think it was for free, but they weren't very upfront with what the cost was. She also gave us a few things.
Well, we don't have anything we could give you in return, but it would help us so much.
Okay. I'll see if my friends have any ideas. Do you care if I at least tell one of my friends? They won't tell.
As long as our secret is safe, if it could help us, we would be grateful.
Okay. I'm 100% not telling Dragomir because I don't know that he won't tell Creswick. But I am going to go try to find Fel.
Okay, so let's go back to Fel's perspective. Fel, you saw Lyric moving through a crowd. You saw her stop and pause, and then you saw her go up to two people. And what's your insight? Like, do you have skill in insight?
Like passive or?
Just like what your insight skill is.
That'll be. Oh, where are you?
Pretty sure it was a +0.
Is it a +0? Is it a? No, it's a fatty 3. +3.
Wow.
Okay, so it's pretty easy to see that there was a tense conversation. You obviously don't know what they were talking about, but you could see things were tense, and like there was like a little bit of laughter, but it was very restrained. And then you see Illyria like say something and like nod and like stand up and then start looking. Where would Illyria look for Fel?
Away from the crowd.
Yeah. It probably doesn't take long, quite honestly. Like
He's tall.
yeah, he's tall, as well as he's up against like a large fence. So it doesn't take super long. And yeah, Fel, you watch as Illyria looks around for a little while and then is like walking like along this tall gate fence thing, and then she sees you and moves towards you with purpose.
Fel at this point's probably pretty far into the bottle, so he's not like f***ed up, but he's definitely the good wine like buzz that you get after you've had some drinks. So definitely relaxed for probably the like you don't typically see this from him, but like definitely just relaxed and sees Illyria walking over and just like, Illyria,
Hey.
you looking for me or?
Yeah, ale's gross. Do you want mine?
Yeah.
Great. I don't want it. I do have a question for you though.
Shoot.
Do you think that we can contact that hag again? Do you remember what happened? Like, did she say we could contact her somehow?
The hag. Oh, the one that had the
Apara,
wife that was
think?
really pretty, right?
Yeah. And also dead.
You win some, you lose some, but okay.
Yeah.
Then she gave us stuff, right? A candle or
We have a flying broom, a broom of flying, a bag of beans. I don't know what they do. What do you think the beans do?
I could eat one to find out.
What if we? I mean, the bean eating it is the first thing you thought of, not planting it. Aren't you Fel?
I mean, we also haven't had dinner tonight.
Oh, sure.
Like, they provided alcohol, which is great, but like we also haven't eaten.
Right.
So, I mean, it's an option. You eat beans, right? Like,
you have to like cook them first, I think.
well, not always.
Okay. Anyway, we got a candle of invocation, but that's for like, I think specifically, she told us to use it to contact Summer, but I think it might go to any of the four sisters. And we got a potion of longevity.
I may have honestly just kind of not heard the start of this conversation. Why? What's going on?
I didn't tell you why yet.
Okay, good enough for me. We could try the candle.
That sounds like maybe we should wait until we're more sure.
Okay, so don't eat
I don't
beans.
think Apara.
Don't light candle.
I don't think Apara. She wasn't one of the four sisters, was she?
No, Apara is the grand hag. The four sisters are the archfey of the seasons.
Right. Okay. Okay. You know, I just don't. That just seems like a good, safe place for undead to be, right?
Oh, the realm we left?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the elk and the fairy and yeah. I would like to go back there. It was really nice, actually.
Yeah, that would be great if we could go back there, but I have no ideas.
What if we find the T-Rex? It was chasing us and then we like popped in there when that happened.
I think we were forcibly removed. But that could maybe we're important and she's watching us and taking care of us like a fairy godmother.
Uh-huh.
You
What do
know,
you do
all
to
the
fairy?
stories,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
the fairy
So how would
tales.
you contact a fairy godmother?
I don't know.
What if we eat one of the beans? No, you said don't eat the bean. Never mind. We're trying to contact a fairy godmother. We don't want to. Okay, we don't eat bean. T-Rex.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Can you do magic? Is there anything that you can do?
You know what? Maybe in the morning. Do I have sending yet? I do. Perfect. I have sending. But that can go across planes usually.
Okay.
Like a 5% chance the message won't get there. But I can send her a message.
That's probably, yeah, that seems like a pretty, yeah.
You're so smart. Thanks for reminding me I have magic.
I appreciate it. I'm not the best with people, but I appreciate you
Yeah.
wanting to converse. You sure you don't want your ale?
No, it's gross.
Are you okay though?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
mostly.
Does it have anything to do with that kind of sketchy conversation you had with two people?
Absolutely. Everything to do with that. Yes.
Should I continue this line of questioning, or is this kind of
Yeah,
a
you
good
probably
spot
won't
for?
remember maybe if you just keep drinking that.
Very true.
They're not fully alive.
That's cool.
Yeah, but we have to be it's a secret.
Okay, I spent my entire life keeping secrets. Yeah, so that's fine.
Cannot find out. So I don't know if Dragomir can find out.
Oh,
And you know
Dragomir's
what?
boyfriend?
What?
I didn't get that from that, but maybe.
No, they were very friendly. Usually people haven't been that friendly to me, so I'm not used to like that kind of.
I think that they're just good friends, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, also
Okay.
I don't know if Meep can keep secrets. Probably
No.
not.
No, me
Just
Meep
me and
cannot.
you, buddy.
I love Meep, and I would defend her life
yeah.
with as much as my own. No, she
yeah.
can't keep secrets.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll remember this tomorrow. Maybe you won't. Thanks for the advice.
All right, but are you okay?
Yeah.
We died. Like,
I think I was in better shape than you after dying. I'll be honest.
yeah,
I think they
that's
just
true.
may
You
have
can-
taken. I think they did was like take my soul and then put it back. But then I think for you, I think you legitimately did die, and they just like said no.
That's true. I'd probably be more of a pain in the ass in the afterlife. I think Meep is rubbing off on me a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
We're a pretty good little group together, you know? I haven't been in very many groups, but for as much
I've been in a
chaos
big group
as we
my whole life.
Performance. How this is brilliant. You've been with people. How does this group stack up compared to yeah?
Well, I mean, the group was kind of my family. So I don't know if I know you all well enough yet. But this is pretty good. This is a good start.
Honestly, a better assessment than I thought we were going to get. So that's really nice to hear. Okay, so keep secret.
I don't really say mean things normally, so.
That is true. You're just very honest, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You're kind of like Moonlit. Did you see her?
Yeah, she's really pretty, isn't she?
She's so cool. She threw the knife down at the tape, like, and just blunt and on it, like.
That was cool. What do you think that her animal forms look like? Because she seemed like a druid, right?
Yes.
Do you
Sorry,
think they're
alligator.
like blue? And, do you think they're like blue and watery?
Oh, that would be cool. Because I'm blue. And she's blue.
That's true. That's true.
What would she turn into? Like, oh, she's like
What do you think
fierce.
her favorite animal to turn into is? Like Meeps is like a goat, I think. Maybe a toad. I don't know.
Oh, Meep always surprised me with her choices. They're always really cool. But
True.
like, I feel like Moonlit, like, oh my God, can you imagine like if you're just like a just hawk that's like got the water flying off while they're flying through the air and everything like that? Like,
That's really cool.
do you think she would talk to me? Or is she too busy? Not now. I don't want to. I don't want to be a weirdo and a creep. It's just
I mean, probably.
It's too late. She's
Okay.
blue. I'm blue.
Anyway, maybe you should get some sleep.
You want to do me a favor, actually?
Maybe. Depends on what
Puts the like kind of like spills the ale a little bit, but puts it down and opens up one of the little pockets that he has and like pulls out this yellow flower. Okay, I'm gonna sleep out here.
Yes.
Because all of that, no.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm assuming you're gonna be near Meep, right? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be okay. And then you see him like with his hands crush it and like kind of like get it to where it's petals and just whatnot. Okay. She did that fun little magic spell. Okay.
Uh-oh.
If you can, while she sleeps, if you sprinkle this just on her face, it's not gonna hurt her or anything.
Doesn't
but it's
she
gonna
just meditate? I don't know if she actually sleeps.
Oh, you could put it in her drink and it's not gonna hurt.
But what does it do?
It causes like uncontrollable burps for just a little bit.
Oh, she'd love that. That's fine.
Like it doesn't cause any like pain and whatnot. It's just gonna be really funny because she won't be able to stop burping. And this is a little way to get back at her. I could disguise self and maybe see like who, but I don't know. I thought we're having
Please don't
a moment.
disguise yourself
So
as me.
I didn't even think about that, but I could.
Please don't.
Please do.
I don't know. I thought groups I've heard they play pranks and have.
Yeah, I'm willing to make me burp. That's fine. How long does it last?
Oh, it's only like 5 minutes, if even that
okay,
much.
deal.
It's not a long thing.
Hand it over.
Thanks, Illyria.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
I'll skip back to the party and I'll be like, hey, Meep, Fel gave me something to make your drink taste really good.
Do I trust?
It's a
Do I
flower.
trust this suggestion? Is the thing.
I don't know,
trust
do you?
Illyria a lot. Is the thing. I like Meep really trust Illyria.
You trust Fel too, right?
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
What is it?
Dirty
What
flower.
is it? Thank you.
It's
Oh my
supposed to
God.
taste good, I think.
But like, where did it come from?
His flower pouch.
Okay. Just
No, I go in your drink, I think.
oh. She just puts the rest of it in there, like brushes it off, and then pretends like she didn't lick her palm earlier.
So you don't notice a difference in the taste of your drink, but you start kind of like hiccuping a little bit.
No, no. How long does it? I don't know how long it takes to take effect. I don't know.
It's just 5 minutes of like hiccups and little burps.
Okay.
Did it taste good?
No.
Oh, maybe he grabbed the wrong flower. He's pretty drunk.
Why is it a bubbly flower? Why is it a bubbly flower?
Am I close enough to see this? Like, is
You could creep near if you would like. They are like in the middle of a lot of people.
All right, yeah. If I can, I would kind of like to just creep outside and look in, and like if I
Do
see
you
it.
disguise self before you go closer?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
No, just walk over. And if I see it happening, you just kind of actually hear like this bellowy laugh. Told you I would get you back, Meep.
Top of my lungs, jumping, burping, like. Great. Thank you. It's on, Fel. It's on.
So I think we get this sweeping shot of Keswick and Dragomir like making music and like people just around them dancing and singing. Of more like performances of like different songs taking on of like the flickering firelight. We get a shot of Trust and Elwyn like sitting at their campfire. We don't hear what they're saying, but we see them having a conversation with the background music going. And we see Phil like go back to his his little spot. And then, unless anybody has anything they would like to do, I think the next shot we get is a hard cut to bright sunlight and Keswick rubbing his temples as he walks towards like the big tent that you were in last night and just goes, I should have known better. I should have known better. And just like dark circles under his eyes. He just looks miserable.
I wanted to check
space though.
one thing before we
Yep.
went to the bedtime scene. So some point during one of the breaks in our performance, I just want to check with Keswick to see if anybody has T-Rex steak in the camp. There's not much supplies, but no harm in asking.
Roll just a
cross your fingers.
d20. Just roll a d20. Just a plain old d20.
We want to
Come
try
on.
steak.
You can do it.
Come on. Oh.
That's not a very good number.
We all trusted you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry.
I have no stake in finding the steak.
So Keswick says we have a little bit of jerky from like a few months back, but we haven't seen a T-Rex in a while, so we don't have any steak. But I could get you some jerky.
Is it at least T-Rex jerky?
It is T-Rex jerky. It's
Yeah,
from a few
absolutely.
months ago.
Sounds good. I just make sure I get a little extra to give to Fel, even though it's not a steak.
Yeah, so you now have T-Rex jerky in your possession.
That's it. The rest of the night is just spent in revelry and singing and whatever else we're doing, for me anyway.
Yeah, so the next morning, we already know that Fel and Dragomir are morning people. You're in a large camp. How does this change your morning routine? We've seen you all wake up now while you've been camping, just the four of you out in the wilderness. But now you're in a camp surrounded by a lot of other people.
Meep is up.
Up?
There's so much to look at. She just wants to go and like absorb all of it. She's trying to meet people and kind of like peer in other people's tents that are slightly open a little bit. And she's just being her inquisitive self. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we get a different morning shot than normal because normally, like, we see Fel making coffee and like Dragomir getting up and like both of them like doing their workout stuff. But this time we actually see Meep walking up and down rows of an encampment. Most people are still sleeping, which gives you a chance to be a little bit nosy because some people are underneath tents. Some people just have like open tents of just like sticks with like tarps so you can see them underneath. And it's very quiet in this very like bright early morning lights. And Meep kind of has a moment to herself while most people are still sleeping.
I'm alone.
Yeah,
Totally alone.
you're alone.
Okay.
You're surrounded by sleeping people, but you are awake and alone.
She sees Tabaxi sleeping on like a kind of a bench. It's kind of like luggage or like a pack and a bench. And it's like it's purring. It's a pretty deep sleep. And it has a collar and it's just really shiny. It's so shiny and it's got like little spikies on it and everything. And she's never seen anything like this before. And everybody seems to be pretty fast asleep, like you said. So she wants to take the collar off of the Tabaxi.
Okay. So, this is going to be a little bit difficult just because you have to have your
It's the
hands
neck.
around its neck. Yeah.
What if Meep, while sneaking in for the collar that she saw, something glistens next to the tabaxi, and it smells nice. It smells good. She smells something sweet. She's never seen anything like it before, but it's blue and it's like it's shaped in a perfect little container.
So,
She wants that instead.
as she goes for the collar and the whole audience collectively breathes in because this is a hard thing to steal, Meep's little nose wiggles as she smells something tasty, and there is a sweet roll next to the sleeping tabaxi that catches your nose. So would you like to swipe the sweet roll instead?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so then I
Little
think
breakfast.
what we get is we get a shot of Meep going for the collar and the tabaxi, and then like her nose wiggling and like looking over, and then we cut to a shot of Meep once again walking up and down the rows, except now she's eating a sweet roll, and she
Yay!
looks pretty happy.
Yay! She got her treat.
Is there anything else Meep wanted to do, or is she just kind of looking at the people?
She's just kind of looking and kind of looking around for something she might want or something new. That's all. She's not a rogue. She's not, but roguelike tendencies.
So I think Dragomir, you wake up with no headache because of who you are as a dwarf. And you kind of like look your head up and look around and you remember where you are. And then you just see a little hooded figure moving around. And you see the hooded figure stop. And you know this hooded figure. They are roughly 30 feet away from you. So if you say something, people will probably wake up.
So do I know it's Meep?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You do. You know that
Or
cloak.
after stealing the sweet roll.
Oh, she has a sweet roll, but she's off. She's going for something else now.
I want to kind of just want to let her take stuff because it'll be way more fun.
Benefits us.
No, I should. We're in Keswick's camp. Dragomir should
Mhm.
definitely stop. So I see Meep and see that we know Meep. We all know Meep. So I just yell out for Meep and ask her what she's eating. So hey Meep, what are you eating?
I don't know. It's delicious. You want a bite?
Yeah, come over.
All right. And I like jump and leap with my little tiny legs over the sleeping people and vault over them.
Yeah, and like I think with that, people start to wake up. Like nobody's like upset or angry. That it's just people start to come to life. Not in a weird way, in like a regular way. I should clarify because we're dealing
Not
with
in an
undead.
undead way. Not zombies
Not in a
crawling out of
zombie
their
way.
bed
Okay.
rolls.
But yeah, people start getting up. Like people start getting up and like moving to use the washrooms and wash their face and do like morning stuff. People start cooking food. Later we get a shot in the background of a tabaxi talking with a guard, and the guard saying, "Someone stole your sweet roll." And the guard being like, "I'm so sorry, I have bigger problems than this. Like maybe you ate it. Maybe you woke up and ate it." As Meep's like licking sticky fingers. And people wake up. So for Illyria and Fel, like what do your morning routines look like today?
I'm gonna look to see if like the clerics have set up some sort of makeshift temple or like makeshift prayer area.
Okay, so you go through kind of like a wander through the encampment to see what you can find.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, and then I'm gonna go prepare my spells, swap dispel magic for sending. And I think that's it.
Okay. So while you're looking for to see if there's like a makeshift temple, do you like if you see other clerics, do you ask them questions or you just kind of stick to
Yeah,
yourself?
I'll ask them. Like, hey, you're a cleric, right? Do you have like a prayer area?
Yeah. So
Is there a
You-
church around here?
you meet Francis, who is a 20-year-old human. He has short curly hair, and he is a little bit taller than you, and he's just like, well, we kind of made a church. It's more just like a tent. Like, it's because
That's
we're
fine.
working with what we have. We have some supplies like for like consecrating, because it kind of helps with the undead a little bit.
Sure.
We don't know what to do with them, but we can kind of like keep them away. And like, Francis is an oversharer. He
Oh,
starts
wonderful.
talking
Oh,
just
God.
unprompted. He's just like, I've
Mhm.
never been able to do this before. And suddenly we just say turn undead, and these corpses don't want to come near us. And like, at first, I don't know. I thought I was really unsure for a while, because Nelseer, and then they kind of like look around and they're like, Nelseer kind of thought that like us clerics were the problem, because we have like, we can interact with these undead, and so they wanted to like kick us all out. But
That's so rude.
right,
Yeah.
Moonlit was so angry. I've never seen her that angry in my life.
They
It was
don't seem to get along at all.
not at all. But Moonlit put her foot down. We have like a tent. We do consecration. Like, we always have a couple clerics at each of the gates to ward off the undead, but we don't really know what else to do.
Okay, so you think they're all like appearing out there, outside of the gates?
He looks like he really wants to tell you something. He's like, well,
I mean, we're friends, right?
yeah, we are. Okay, so you can't tell anybody that I told you
Okay,
this,
I won't.
but
I won't.
when people who live
Yeah.
here or who try to adventure here, and when people pass away, we can't keep them in here because they'll attack us, and we don't know what to do with them. So we've been putting them outside the gates because we don't know what else to do with them.
So it'll still happen in here.
Yeah, that's it. That's how it first started. Is there was someone who had passed away, and then they ate the underkeeper. So we don't have an underkeeper anymore. So we don't really know what to do with them. So we just kind of put them outside for now.
So like, I know depending on, which deity people are worshiping, they might have different funeral ideas. But have you considered a funeral pyre for everyone?
We weren't sure if that was appropriate, because some people are okay with that, but we weren't sure if we could find a way to stop it. If we should
Maybe,
try and
until you can figure out how to stop it. This seems pretty dangerous to just like, throw them outside and hope the zombies don't get you.
I agree. I think that would be a really good idea. And I think if a really cool and powerful adventurer like you told Moonlit while Nelseer is there, because Nelseer is like really, really against it because he says it's bad for business. I don't really know what that means.
I mean, everybody dying to zombies is also really bad for business, right?
Yeah, right? Like, we don't have shops anymore because we just have to use all of the tools that we have. So like, the only thing we really buy is drinks. Everything else is like provided by the camp, which is like really, really nice. But also, I don't know if I'm getting hazard pay. That's just
wow,
like
they really should be.
Yeah, and they'll just
We're just
go
like gossiping
on.
back and
Yeah.
forth. But then I'm gonna go and be like, okay, now, but where's the tent though?
Yeah, they'll lead you there. They'll talk about their working conditions and like their coworkers the entire time. But yeah, they'll bring you to a tent that looks a lot like all of the other tents, except inside there is like a table covered in like holy symbols, and there's also like a bunch of pearls and like other like cleric like spellcasting components and like some like paladin stuff. It doesn't really feel like a temple. It feels a lot more like a supply shop,
Yeah.
with a heavenly twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll introduce you to the cleric on guard, who is Doran, who is another they're tabaxi. They're wearing chainmail, which is pretty typical for a cleric.
Mhm.
They have it looks like they have some like holy symbols in their ear. They worship the god of nature, whose name I have up here. And you can tell by like the symbols on them that this person is clearly like worships the nature god. There we go. There's my list. Nature. Ealdin. You recognize like the symbols on them.
Mhm.
This tabaxi seems older. They have some white in their fur. They seem very calm compared to a lot of the younger clerics and acolytes. And when they turn to meet you, they give you like a little bow, and you can like hear them purring like a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
And yeah, the person who brought you here like introduces you and says, "This is Doran Cloudfang. This is my boss. They're really cool." Cloudfang, this is Illyria. These are one of the adventurers that were sent to help. She's a cleric, and yeah, I'm gonna go now. Okay, bye. And they leave, and Cloudfang like bows and says, "Illyria, it's very nice to meet you."
It's so nice to meet you. We traveled a long time to get here.
They just nod.
I was just looking to like pray here, check out your temple, see if there was any stuff like any holy symbols to Ranthanos, you know.
They look at their table that's covered in holy symbols of a variety of different deities. And they pick one up and they kind of like brush it off and hand it to you, and it is it is a symbol of Ranthanos. And they say, "You may keep this. We ask that
Cool.
each cleric only have one pearl on them in order to make sure there's enough for everybody to go around, just in case." Is there anything else that you could use? You're welcome to
Oh,
pray anywhere you'd like.
you have so you have like cleric spell components, like maybe is it 50 gold pearl I might need?
Yeah, they don't say anything. They just turn to a table and like pick up a bag and pull out a pearl and hand it to you with their paw.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. What about some 50 gold rings or like a warding bond?
Um,
Am I shopping for free? Is this free? They're gonna make me pay for this?
no, they give you the rings. Yeah, they have this. They are helping you helps them, so they are giving you things.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
They also give you 3 potions of greater healing.
Okay. When did I? Oh, right, inventory. Oh God.
How far away is Meat from this interaction?
You are back at the camp. Illyria has traveled through the stronghold
Gotcha.
to this area, so you're quite a ways away.
So Meat doesn't know the Lyria has shiny things. Gotcha.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah, she would never tell you.
I bet. Smart move.
Okay, pearl for detect magic, rings for warding bond. That might be interesting to cast. And then
Well-
3 potions of greater healing. Dang. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then did you want to just like look for a area to like prepare your spells and do your daily? Yeah. So Cloudfang is not very chatty. They like gesture to things when you ask like, "Oh, do you have this?" They'll be like, they'll kind of point to it, but they don't say a lot unless asked directly.
Sure.
You're welcome to take a corner of the tent. There's not really pews or anything. So you're welcome to just find like an area if you would like in the tent to do your morning stuff.
Yep. That's what I'll do.
Okay. And then while Illyria is off doing that, what is Fel doing in the morning?
Fel would probably try to, I mean, mechanically, however it would work, to make sure that he gets up kind of like before everyone. You see that he would get up, like take off the flower crown, put it down, take off his straps, all of that, put his hair up. And you see him reach into one of his packs and pull out a combination of like flower petals and whatnot and crushes them up. Rolls something up, and like lights it and smoking it to help kind of just clear the little bit of a headache he has that from still just waking up so early. And he would probably go look for if there's a training area or something in here.
Okay.
And yeah, do like just the standard, like almost like your cook at a like Waffle House, just the cigarette in his mouth, and he's just working out, getting his morning workout in, and still doing the things he knows he needs to by just kind of fighting through a little bit of a headache.
Yeah, I think we get the shot of like while you're crushing up these flowers and rolling things, we get in the background like Meep wandering through, and we just hear faintly like Dragomir's voice calling to her, and her like heading back, and then you get up and leave just as people are starting to wake, and then you get to the training area. It's quite large. There's a couple of other people kind of around, like early morning go-getters, but they give you a very respectful berth. And yeah, you're able to have a peaceful morning workout. Was there anything else that Dragomir wanted to do after keeping Meep from pickpocketing?
So, Dragomir's first thing that he would be trying to do this morning is like, he's up. He's had a great night. Everyone had a great night. And he knows he's got this jerky that he worked on last night. So he's just kind of like around the camp wondering where Fel is. But other than that, he's just sort of hanging out, waiting for everyone to make their way back so we can kind of get on with our mission of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question that's not a Dragomir question, though. We slept. Is that like a long rest thing? Do we like
Yeah,
put our
everybody
HP back?
gets the benefits of a long rest. So yeah, I think we get it from Dragomir's perspective when Illyria comes back and when Fel comes back, and Meep has finished her her sweet roll. As a Tabaxi man cries in the background about losing his sweet roll. And then the party gets together and is ready to take on the day. And so that's where we'll take our last break now. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break. I hope you have all the snacks, such as popcorn or other things. I don't know. If you saw the closed captions of what Concho yelled, I guess this is just an ongoing meme at this point. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a good break. I hope you had a chance to get a drink, stretch your legs, and do whatever you need to do to take care of you. So thank you all again so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. We really appreciate you. We are heading into the final hour of the show. So we are in an encampment deep within the jungle of Aldamarth. Our party they've got some stuff going on. So Illyria has a quest from it was originally from her Deva, and now it's kind of from a Reaper to find a disciple of the God of Time. So she died yesterday and then came back, and Fel died yesterday and came back. He's doing okay. Dragomir is reunited with one of his long lost friends, Keswick, Keswick was the one who asked our adventuring party to come to Aldamarth to help with the monster problem. It's not just a monster problem, though. There's also an undead problem. So they are going into a meeting where Moonlit Reflections on Stillwater, a druid water genasi, would like to deal with the plague of the city, deal with the undead problem, figure that out, and go from there. Keswick would like to basically just keep on managing the undead problem, but continue their investigations into the south, into the jungle, to discover why the monsters are pushing north. Nelseer, who is a rich merchant who also is very anxious, would like to retreat north, abandon the restless undead, abandon the stronghold, abandon any of the nomads of the south who haven't made it to the stronghold so far, and basically go further north and only deal with the monster problem and not worry about the undead right now until they've dealt with the monster problem. Along the way, Illyria has discovered 2 undead people who are living within the camp and avoiding the clerics who are hiding from the god of death and his minions. Illyria is considering ways to possibly help them. One thing she's considering is finding a way to talk to an archfey to get them into the Feywild portal that they stumbled upon in episode 1. Meep stole a sweet roll and had a nice snack. Dragomir played some fun music. And I think now we're getting ready to go into the meeting to see what route the party is going to push for the leaders to take. So do the 4 of you have a conversation before you go to this meeting?
I think so.
Before I even get back to the group, I would like to use sending.
Okay. So what does sending do?
Sending allows me to send a little message. You send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message. You can send the message across any distance and even to other planes, but if the target is on a different plane than you, then there is a 5% chance that the message does not arrive.
Okay. So first of all, what is the message and what does your casting of this look like?
Me casting it just kind of looks like me talking to myself out loud. There's not it's not really anything fancy to how she's casting this. This is more like business. But what I will say, this is gonna go to Apara. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna count while I do it, so I know I'm 25 words or less.
I got you.
Hi, it's me, Illyria. If I have 2 new friends, I don't say that part, who need protection, could they come to you? If yes, then how? Thank you.
Okay, so you think and say this message in this conversation with yourself. Is there any cost associated with this spell?
There are material components, but I think they're just there's no
there's no cost.
There's no cost value, so I think just my holy symbol. So I'd probably be twiddling with my locket, which is where my holy symbol is, on the outside, engraved. So I'd just be do and using that while I was talking.
Hey, how's it going? Oh my god.
Okay, so the message was basically, I have 2 friends who could use your protection. How do I get them to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't use the word
protect them.
You don't use the word undead. You don't use the word hiding from Zolzotl. You don't use any of that. Okay, so
no. My assumption is she will. Maybe she won't understand, but my assumption is that she can read between the lines and why they would need specifically her protection.
Okay. So there's a 5% chance of failure. So if you could roll the d20, if you roll
I sure can.
5 or lower, then it doesn't go through. But as long as it's 6 or higher than the best,
a 5% chance would be just a 1, right?
I know how to do math. Yeah,
I
it's
can
just
do
a 1.
It's just a 1 if you want.
But... you get the message through.
Whatever's easier for you. I
14.
Don't know. You got a 14. Yeah, so it goes through. Everything's fine. You so when you send it, there's a moment of you get like a feeling, like a message received. You know it's gone through.
Yep.
And a few moments later, Danny DeVito appears at your feet.
Oh.
In case you're joining us and you weren't here earlier, earlier this episode, Meep summoned a fey creature. And it is his name is Danny. He's like this big. He's red. He has a very wide mouth and he
Waddle.
talks very gruffly and he swears a lot. He waddles. Yeah, we love him. He appears in front of you and he goes goes like that and like sniffs and then looks up at you and goes, what do you need?
Can you take 2 people to a para?
Okay,
hide
yeah,
them
she
there?
did mention that. Yeah, okay, where are they?
Okay. We'll lead this little guy to the 2 people.
So as you lead him, he's like sniffing around a lot. It's very loud. He sounds like he could use a tissue. And as you get closer, he stops and he like reaches out and like puts a hand on you and looks up at you. He's like, I can't interfere with this. And poofs away and he's gone.
I'll think to myself, I wonder why she didn't just respond. Okay. Bad luck for them. Uh-oh. Okay. I'll just go back to the group.
Okay. And yeah, everybody can have a moment of morning coffee before you make your way to the tent.
So we're just hanging out chatting, right?
Yeah.
And we've been together as a group for about 4 weeks. That's when the one shot happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So before I say anything else, Dragomir just sort of reaches into his backpack and says, Felt, couldn't get you steak, but I got you some jerky, and just kind of tosses him one of the jerky. It's T-Rex. That's all I could do.
What a good breakfast.
So
Kind of tastes like chicken.
everything tastes like chicken. It's the rule. So I don't know if you guys remember last night. I asked Keswick how long ago this started happening. It was right around the time we got our boat and brought that rock back to those people when we met. I'm a little concerned that it's related.
You're
Did
saying
we
we
cause
did this?
problems by trying to help? Is that what you're telling me?
Like, timing is a little suspicious. But I think for obvious reasons, maybe we don't want to mention that part to, like, I trust Keswick. The other two, maybe we don't mention it.
I wonder how close you have to be to the stronghold for things to not die.
We get
Because-
volunteers and line them up and kill them and see how long before they
No,
like.
that sounds
stop.
like a
Yeah.
terrible solution.
People.
We've done it. Okay.
What do you
Sorry,
mean
I
we've
cut
done
you
it?
off.
What have we been doing all of this time?
Keeping ourselves alive, not like intentionally killing people to see who becomes undead.
Well, how firm is the line between what we've been doing and what we could be doing?
Biggest difference is if they attack you first, Meep.
Okay, we're learning. These are learning experiences. Meanwhile, she's eyeing whatever Fell is holding in his hand over there. Fine, we can't fight. Can you?
Puff, puff, pass. Nice.
Thank fuck.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Making your own.
Oh my god!
There you
He
go.
knows me so well. Thank you.
Awfully
So I
trusting
heard from
after
a cleric. That I don't remember if it was Keswick or if it was Nelseer, but somebody doesn't want to use funeral pyres. But I think that could help with well, it could just cause like a skeleton problem. I don't know, but it seems like a better than what they're doing, which is throwing the dead bodies outside and then hoping they don't turn into zombies, you know?
So a bone zone, you will say.
It could be. I don't know.
Okay.
You take 8d6 psychic damage.
So we're gonna have to figure out what to do. These three can't get their story straight. Do you think, Alira, you've been looking at the clerics? Do you think?
Yeah.
How long do you think would be to get them to a point that they could maybe keep this place standing if we wanted to go deal with the monsters?
I think. Well, I mean, it really just depends how many people are dying every day. Because I think it's not until somebody dies in here that they become undead.
Keep people alive, less.
You know
people-
what? Do I remember which of the two of them was like against the funeral pyre?
Yeah, it was Nelseer, who is the rich guy.
Okay. So what I think is happening, Nelseer, do we know like what class he is? Like what type
He
of
doesn't.
adventurer?
He didn't seem necessarily to be an adventuring class. You couldn't tell by looking at him, anyways. Whereas this, like, Moonlit was obviously a druid, and because of like symbols that she had on her, and Keswick was obviously a ranger because of his animal companion, and large crossbow. Nelseer, there doesn't seem to be like an obvious class.
Okay. So like he's rich, right? So what if
Mhm.
he's trying to get more rich by some sort of business deal he made up north, and that's why he's trying to go north? So he's like paying like a necromancer or something. Is that a thing? Like to
What?
scare people away from this
You
place.
wanted to go north.
He really did. And he's the one that's very against the funeral pyres.
Which would probably solve our problem.
I think it would.
Okay.
So my idea is just to convince them for now to use funeral pyres if people die.
Yeah, let's do it. What about you, Fel? Meep?
What a I don't know what Illyria said. Whatever Illyria thinks.
Okay.
We're both too big to know what's going on, so it's fine.
Okay,
We're
so
both just
I talked them into funeral pyres.
Or like maybe he's the necromancer. I don't know though. Necromancy seems like very, very dangerous to get into. But if anyone could, like a rich person with too much money to get books that they're not supposed to get access to. You know?
Wait, so they only come alive if they
They
die
said they were
inside
saying
the...
that they were dying here. And then they were tossing their bodies outside and then they became those zombie things.
But have they seen if someone dies outside the walls, they come back?
They haven't, as far as I know. They are not aware, no. That's not a lie. Technically.
I mean, the funeral pot, like that's if it's something to potentially help out, it sounds good. I mean, I don't like little sketchy fella to begin with. So anything to kind of spite him, yeah, I'm happy.
Deal.
Wait, who's
So
little sketchy fella?
everybody gets Fel.
That's true. Everybody's pretty sketchy and pretty small.
Yeah, okay.
Nelseer?
So
I'm always so bad with names.
Nelseer.
Nelseer. Yeah, anyone that wants to run from a fight, no.
So try and get them to manage the undead, and we'll go deal with some monsters, maybe.
Sounds good to me.
Isn't that
Alright.
technically what we were hired for?
That's all we were hired for.
Wait, they're giving us money?
Oh yeah.
Oh, deal.
we
Okay.
get paid after this. Absolutely.
Do we get paid for that flower thing we killed? Oh,
Probably.
I still have the tail of that thing in the bag
Yeah.
of holding.
I mean, I got something shiny. Like I don't know how much it costs, but it sure is nice.
I got emotional damage from that fight.
Emotional damage. Sorry.
That's been in my head all week.
Yeah.
So, you make your way towards the tent.
Making our way-
When you're making your way downtown, walking faster. So when you get there, Nelseer is sitting like with his arms crossed, and he looks like annoyed and like something smells bad. Moonlit Reflections is standing a little bit further away from the table, looking away from him. And Keswick, it looks like the person who's caught in between two people feuding and is just like, we just need to work together on this one thing. We just need to work together on this one thing. We just need to make a decision. So when you all come through the door, Keswick is just like, oh, it's so good to see you. We were just taking a short break from discussions about what we think we should do.
These tents aren't very thick, you know. We could hear you yelling.
Yelling. How's the plan coming?
Moonlit snorts and goes, what plan?
So we think we've got a plan for you. Our cleric here, Lyra, thinks that you would solve a lot of your undead problem with just some funeral pyres. If you kind of burn them up, there's not much to come back to life, and that leaves us with some space to go monster hunting.
So Keswick and Moonlit both look to Nelseer, who shakes his head, and he's like, we can't burn the bodies. We need to keep them intact until we can find a way to keep them dead properly, and then go ahead with the adventuring guild and the agreed upon rites of rest that these people signed up for when they became adventurers.
But what if they would stay dead if you just burned them, you know?
Such an Illyria thing to say.
We can't do that. That's not how it works through the guild. When adventurers sign up, they let the guild know what they would like to happen with them in the case of their unaliving, and it is our job to carry through and honor those wishes, even if getting them to stay dead causes some problems.
But how many of them just die in the jungle to some monsters and get eaten? They don't get what they told the guild they wanted.
It does
So what's the
say in the
difference?
fine print that if they get eaten by monsters or if recovery becomes difficult, then unfortunately there's nothing we can do. So legally, in that case, it's a moot point.
Do you like work for the guild?
I have worked with them in the past. I am not currently affiliated with them, but I do take their code of ethics very seriously.
I would like to
I
look
believe him.
at Nelseer and very intimidatingly say, why are you protecting the code of ethics instead of the people that are clearly alive? So like Dragomir kind of steps up, and you see his like brows furrow in, and the kindness is gone from his face, as it would like somebody who's literally ready to kill somebody.
Yeah.
His biggest, scariest growl. He's built and he's ready to go, and he's just going to look him up and down and just say, "You want to risk people's lives to protect some dead bodies? That's what you're telling me." And he's just spitting these words at him.
Yeah, roll intimidation. And Illyria, if you wanted, you could roll insight.
14.
14. Okay. Let's take a
22.
look. You got a what, sorry?
22.
22. Illyria, you get that he is genuinely talking about, like, he is talking about the Adventurers Guild and their policies. Genuinely, like, he's honest about, like, the policies. He is lying about not being affiliated with the guild, though. You can tell that is a bold-faced lie. Dragomir, when you do this, he like moves backward and like kind of like puffs up a little bit in a way that like a pufferfish would when it feels threatened. He does deal every single day with moonlit, so he's used to being threatened, but he still is. He just kind of like stutters and like spits a little and doesn't really know how to respond to what you said. And Moonlit actually like comes over and like stands by you and is just like, finally somebody who is making some kind of sense around here. And Keswick kind of like looks side to side and is just like, so Pyre?
I think it's the plan. And I kind of look up at Moonlit and just, she's way taller than me, right? You said she was super tall?
Yeah, she's very tall.
Yeah. So I kind of look up and go, what do you think about the pyre?
She nods kind of solemnly and goes, I'm much more interested in keeping those who are alive than protecting the guilds and their organizations with those who have already left us. And I think we get a shot of Meep with her blunt that's made out of flowers, and as she like inhales and it embers on like the edge of it, and we see like the smoke, we get a shot that has shifted to later in the day of people building a pyre. They've cleared out an area of where the encampment is, and they're building a pyre, and it's beginning to smoke. So we see the smoke from the blunt turn into the smoke of this pyre that is being built. And the town had recently collected some bodies of adventurers who didn't quite make it here with their lives. And so they're building this pyre to put this to a test. And you all can be standing nearby. We kind of see things in shadows, like we don't see corpses. We see bodies that are wrapped up. We see them very like respectfully placed. We see people nearby who maybe knew these adventurers who like have their hats off and are like say a few like words ahead of time. But the five of you, or sorry, the four of you are a little bit further away. And so we get this shot of a funeral procession. We see the Tabaxi, Doran, who is the cleric that Illyria had met that morning, doing a funeral rite with this pyre. And everything seems to be proceeding well until as the smoke goes up, there's the sound of a shrieking, the daylight turns dark, and from the smoke and each of the three bodies that are there, shadows creep forward. The four of you, being trained adventurers, leap to the cause, and we're going to roll initiative as these shadows reach out and begin to attack.
We f***ed up.
It was a test.
initiative.
This'll be fine.
Oh my
Mm.
god.
Everything
I'm
was
never
fine.
doing that again for luck. What'd you
Sorry.
do?
For luck. What was
I
the
just
luck?
did a deep breath in a moment, and it wasn't worth it at all. Sorry. I rolled a 1, so
Oh,
yeah.
oopsie. I didn't roll very well either. Pixel did though.
Oh
So I
really?
have 19.
My god.
They
I
got
have a
an
13.
8. Okay, so the shadows got a 18. Pixel, did you say you got a 19?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yep.
Dragomir. What did Meep get?
A 1.
3.
Listen,
What's
you've
your-
never
got
seen
3,
a
you got
shadow
3.
attack before.
It's
Yeah,
this
you would
is
have got
new.
the 3.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, 3
Illyria?
technically, yeah.
I
Sorry.
got a 6.
Okay, and then Fel
Total.
got a 13?
Correct.
13 Fel. Okay.
Are there like other people still all around us? Did they run away?
There's a lot of people around because it's next to the encampment. Nobody was expecting this. And you all being the trained adventurers that you are the first to react. So Dragomir, you see you see these shadows like come out of the smoke and begin screaming and attacking and moving around as the sky darkens. What would you like to do? You're within 30 feet of the pyre.
So are they just like shadows like on a ground as if they were being cast, or is this like looks like creatures that came out of the bodies?
They would look most similar to like a humanoid wearing like a dark cloak, except they're literally made of like shadow and darkness.
Okay, so I would assume that I'm able to try and hit them.
Yeah.
Which is really what I was kind of wondering, because if it's literally just shadows on the ground, and I don't know what I'm doing against that with a hammer. But I'm gonna just run up to the closest one because there's a crowd of people, and I would like them to be not getting dead, and just I'm gonna try and hit it with my hammer.
Okay.
Two. Put one of these. There we go. So the first is a 25 for my attack.
Yep, that hits.
Okay. Let's roll some damage for that one. Clear, so I don't add a d20 to it for free, because that would be a lot of damage. 9.
9 damage.
And then second attack is 13.
Yep, that hits.
Okay.
And as your hammer passes through them, it's hard to say because it doesn't connect with anything. Like it moves through like the shadowy billowiness, but it's hard to tell because you don't feel it connect with anything.
Kind of like I would swing through, and I was swinging with a lot of force. So the first one swings all the way through, and like I guess the shadow kind of ripples around it as it normally would. I don't really have any clear indicator that anything happened, and it brings up like hard into the ground because I was really putting muscle on it.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is another 9. I just kind of swing around this time, but I swing through the air, kind of like I know it's going to pass through it, and just kind of hoping that it's done something, but enough that I'm not kind of throwing myself off balance like I was the first time by swinging through.
Mm-hmm. And just with your experiences at an adventure and everything like this, like you think you're doing something, but you can tell a hammer is probably not the most effective thing against a shadow for whatever it's worth. But yeah, you get a couple hits in. It's hard to tell if it looks
No.
angry because it's just a billowy, dark, faceless
Exists.
thing. Yeah. Is that your turn?
So that's everything.
Okay, awesome. So then it is their turn. So the one that you hit is going to attack you. So okay, let's roll and see what happens. And then I'll tell you what happens. So that is a 16 plus 4, so that's a 20 to hit. Which I'm assuming hits you.
You got me.
Okay, so then it's 2d6 plus 2. There's a 1 and a 3, so that's 4 plus 2, so that's 6 necrotic damage. And then this is temporary, so mark this source somewhere else on your sheets, but your strength is reduced by 3.
Okay. Can I put that there? No. Oops.
Oh,
I don't know what just
ruh-roh.
there. I apparently still have a hotkey set up on my number pad.
Live
It's not just
content,
me.
everybody. Live
It doesn't have to be
content.
me. Tune in next week to find out who does it next.
And then after that, the next one is going to attack Fel. So that is a 10 plus 4. Does a 14 hit?
Yeah.
Okay, and so it's going to do the 2d6. It's a 6 and a 6, so that's 12 plus 2, so that's 14 necrotic damage. And then I'm going to roll a d4 to see how much your strength gets reduced. So that's a 3. Remember, this is temporary, so make sure you know your strength somewhere else. So your strength is temporarily reduced by 3. And then the third one attacks just like one of the people who are around, and so we just see this shade go up to this person, and there's like this pulling moment, and this person like is knocked unconscious and falls over, and then it moves towards Illyria. So those are the shade's turn, and then it is Fel's turn.
Oh. Okay. So I don't know what that does to any of my stats, because now my strength is a 15.
Yeah, so if it
Instead of
was
an
an 18
18.
before, 18 is plus. Sorry, let me
Should be
take a
plus
look.
4.
Yeah,
I believe.
18's plus 4.
So I think you now have a plus 2
Yeah, plus 2 now instead of a plus 4.
temporarily.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
That seems
Don't
really
like
bad.
That at all. That seems very bad. Okay, because I don't know detect magic very well. Is that like something that would tell weaknesses and stuff like that?
Detect
Or-
magic is how you see what kinds of magic exist around you. So technically, mechanically, it's so you can look at something and be like, that's illusion magic. That's
Okay.
like this kind of magic. I use it more for flavor to like see, so you could look and see if something is necrotic. You could see like the way magic is moving in the world, but it
Mhm.
doesn't like tell you, like it's not like a history check where it tells you about the monster.
Got it. Oh, okay. How does this everything? So at that point, my strength on my glaive. Sorry, I need to figure out. Like
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
glaive was a plus 7.
It was plus 4 from strength before, so now it's just plus 2. So you take away 2.
Okay, so it'd be a plus 5, which still no negatives for the thing. Okay. Yeah, I think Fel's just gonna do what he does best. He's not gonna have any clue. So you would see him like after feeling this way, he would probably like throw down the blunt that he had, put it out, put on his crown really quick, and put on his books really fast, and just like finally some fun, and almost like Super Saiyan, like rage, and just like boom.
Gosh.
And yeah, I guess we'll do what we do. Okay. So then the glaive, if I'm doing all of this, so yeah, there's no plus anymore because the glaive would be -5. The glaive would be yeah, okay. So oh man, just a straight advantage roll. How is that possible?
What'd you get?
How do I roll 2 7s? Okay, yeah. So just 2 7s.
And that was plus nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what we see is like we see your glaive moving through them, but it doesn't do anything. They just continue to swarm. So you use your bonus action to rage attack 1. Do you have a second attack?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a 14.
14 hits.
Okay. So then, okay. So for the damage roll, oh, my strength is a part of the damage roll, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay.
So where you would have got plus 4.
Okay, it would be a +2. And
Plus
then
2 for
there's
rage, plus 10 for your feet.
for the feet, and then a +2 for the. Okay, so yeah, so it's plus 14 instead to whatever this is.
Okay.
8, 9, 10, 11, 21.
21. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, your weapon's not magical. Okay. So it passes through, and like again, you don't feel it connect with anything, but this time like the dark shadowy cloud it feels a little bit better. It feels like maybe this time you got onto something, but unfortunately it is still up.
And you said I took 14, right?
Yeah, because I rolled really well. Cool. 2 attacks and rage. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Illyria.
Yes. So did you say the sky got dark?
Yeah. Like clouds
Okay.
like billowed in and things got dark.
Do I get the sense that it's like magical darkness?
It seems to be related to whatever's going on in this moment. So it's
Okay.
hard to say.
I will step up and if there is a way I can get within 15 feet of all of them, I'm just gonna run to the middle of them.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
And I'm gonna grab my locket. Let me look at the spell and see. I'm gonna grab my locket and I'm gonna be like, Ranthinos, guard me and guard our friends. And then you're just gonna see a 15-foot radius full of tiny glowing butterflies as I cast Spirit Guardians.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay,
love
so
this
there is brightness. The things like shriek as brightness and golden light and butterflies fill this area. Let me open up Spirit Guardians.
When you cast a spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. So basically, only the shades would be affected.
Okay.
Affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. On a success, it takes half.
Okay.
Get 'em.
Hell yeah.
Get 'em.
So when you cast the spell, you designate affected creature speed when the creature enters the area for the first time or starts its turn there. So they're entering the area by you creating the area. Would it be now or would it be on their turn?
This is hotly contested in the D&D community, so it's up to you. Whatever you would like.
Okay. Well, in that case, I do feel like they've entered the area for the first time. You created the area,
Cool.
but they've entered it. So I would say
Okay.
roll that
So
damage.
They need to make Wisdom saves, and I will roll 3d8.
What's the DC for the Wisdom save?
The DC would be 15 is my save DC.
Okay. So the
I
first
rolled
one,
very bad.
What is that damage?
It's bad.
the first one gets a 19. So it takes
4. It's radiant
radiant?
damage if they might
Yeah.
be.
That matters. So the first one, as the butterflies and light appears, just dissipates in the lights and just disappears. The second one fails. So how much damage was it?
8 total damage.
8. So the
Radiant.
second one dissipates and disappears and just evaporates in this golden light. And the third one will take half damage because it rolled a 20. So 8, so it's 4 radiant.
4 radiant damage.
Okay, so it also screams, but the last one is still up. But 2 of them disappear in the butterfly glowingness. There's ethereal music. It's
It's magical girl sparkly sounds.
incredible. There's inspiring music playing. It is a hell of a moment. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Incredible. Meep, there is one of these shadows left. You are surrounded by beautiful golden butterflies and beautiful lights, and Illyria is making magical girl things happen. What would you like to do?
Okay, well, I've been just distracted by the beautiful things that are happening, and she's just so happy to be seeing this and that we're winning. And so how close am I to everybody right now?
You're within like 15 feet of everything, so
Okay,
you
perfect.
can get to this thing if you'd like to. You're also close to your teammates.
Okay, so I can see them, but I'm 4 feet tall, so I can't see them very well. So I go and I walk up behind Fel, who is like raging, like he's like sweaty and like just like ready to attack. And I like tap him, and he looks at I'm assuming he looks at me, and I grab his book holsters and I walk up his back up to his shoulders, and I hop on top and stand on his shoulders, and I want a moonbeam, the last one.
So, a quick clarifying moment. Meep has a pair of slippers that makes it so she can walk up vertical surfaces. So she literally like walks up Fel, and puts out her hands, and a large circular thing of just cylindrical lights, basically from the heavens, comes down on this shadow. Let's
I
take a
forgot
look
I had
at
those
Moonbeam.
slippers. I totally
Hell yeah.
forgot.
So good.
Moonbeam is
Moonbeam,
yeah.
moonbeam.
So a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. Until the spell ends, dim light fills the cylinder, so things get brighter. Engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, must make a Constitution saving throw, and then takes 2d10 radiant damage. So it gets a 5, so it fails the throw. So if you could roll 2d10
Okay.
for the damage.
Two of what? Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah, 2d10.
Should be the 5th die from the left.
Yeah.
And if you hover
Thank
over
you.
it, it'll say
Oh.
D10.
D10. I got it. Okay. Roll. Bonk. 5.
That's one. You can roll
that's
another one.
Clear. Okay. 5 and 9.
Okay, so this thing, like, I think we see like the white, like glaring light of Moonbeam, and like this thing just like screeches and gets like torn into 1,000 little pieces, and then like evaporates into the ethereal, celestial light of Moonbeam, and then the light dims, the butterflies fade away. The sun is now shining out of like a cylinder shape coming from going through the sky.
Is it quiet?
It's quiet once more.
Everybody just hears Meep and sees her put her arms back all the way on top of Vel's shoulder, and just the most evil laugh at the top of her lungs. We did it!
So
Yep.
maybe not pyres.
Well, so no, but we did learn something.
We did learn something.
And I think we get a shot of Meep standing on Fel's shoulders, like arms up, like cackling in this beautiful, like shining light that's coming down. And like we see like Meep laughing and like the little like last glint of like gold and butterflies start to fade away.
Fell is yelling with her, like still in the rage, just like "Ah!"
Is Keswick at this like event can see it?
Yeah, where is everybody?
Yeah, he was like further away, but yeah, he's around.
Massive headache maybe is like these bright lights. He's just like
Yeah, and in this campsite, the sun shines for the rest of the day. As our adventuring party learns that maybe not pyres. And that's where we're gonna end the session today. Is some laughing and yelling and Keswick rubbing his temples and yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap up today. So let's go over some goals and see how people did. So let's start with Dragomir with your goals. So
Okay.
your first goal, try a T-Rex state. You tried jerky.
as close as I could get in 2 weeks of trying.
So you can have a pip for that. Absolutely, you can. Get one new piece of information about the Colosseum. I don't think you made progress or had a chance for that today. Help Keswick with dealing with the monster problem. You definitely made progress on that today.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be ongoing for a while. So those are Dragomir's goals, and then we'll do Fel next. So Fel's first goal was to find the Australian red leaf. We got a peek into a little bit of his story behind that, but I don't think any progress was made regarding that. Goal 2 was get meat back. And now there is a prank war going on. So yes, you get a pip for that, which gives you a fully completed bar. So everybody can add 1 pip to the team XP tracking because Fel has completed a goal XP. Anybody in the audience, if you have questions about this, check our Twitter. There's screenshots that helps explain this. And then everybody gets a team XP, and then goal 3 was find time to see about helping Illyria. I think you checked in. Yeah, you checked in. You found some time. Illyria's giving us the nods up. So yeah. So you get a pip for that. Yeah. And then we'll do Illyria next.
Okay.
So goal number 1, make her appreciate something beautiful daily. Do you feel like you had a chance for that today?
I don't think I saw anything really new.
You made something. I guess that's not.
Oh,
new
but
to
I
you,
guess
though.
making something beautiful. We did our show.
Oh yeah, make or appreciate. So
That's
yeah, you
true.
put you put on a show. There was dancing, as well as you and Meep together made butterflies and sunshine.
Oh, true. That was
Quite literally.
Oh,
So
we had a moment with Fel. That was beautiful.
Sure, yeah, that too, yes.
Yeah.
goal 2, follow the Reaper's instructions. So I would say you get.
I feel like I made like progress kind of because I'm not dead.
You've been given a goal by the Reapers now. So yes, you made progress on that. Find dad ? I don't think so.
I didn't ask anybody anything.
And then Meep.
Yes.
Goal number 1. Still looking for a pet of some kind. I don't think.
No.
Not today. Not today. Eat something new that's sweet and delicious. Yep. You get 1 point for that. Find the most perfect hat in the whole world. I don't think so.
No.
Not today.
Still looking.
Still looking. You didn't steal a collar.
No, we didn't steal. We did steal, but just not a collar. It's something less important. So. Yeah.
This
True.
poor dude just in a war, and you steal the one thing keeping them alive.
I had to see so many undead things, and I had to see you die. So I decided to treat myself. What of it?
All right. And then for Team XP, did we learn more about a threatening plot? Yeah,
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
say so.
These people cannot die, and I don't know why.
Yeah. So everybody gets a point for that. Did
Boop.
we connect with each other as a team?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Did we overcome a notable monster enemy? Absolutely, we did.
Shades though, not the undead first ones. Those were not notable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were needs, but yeah, the shadows were. Anyways, did we learn something new and important about the world?
People
Absolutely.
can't die here for some reason.
We also learned that Apara will not interfere with your undead friends for some reason.
Yeah.
And you learned that time and paladin clerics aren't really a thing, but you are supposed to find a time acolyte to talk about. So yeah. So we are 3 pips away from everybody leveling up. So we're very close. So maybe is that right?
I have
I
2.
see 2.
2?
I see 2
Okay.
Because I
too.
think
Yeah,
because
but
Concho's, we got up a
Maybe.
pip from Concho.
Okay, so we're 2 away. So we're very close. Let's take a look. So we went over XP. We talked about our goals. And now we're gonna take a minute to talk about ourselves. So, Candace, do you mind going first?
I don't mind at all. No, hello, hi. I'm ThanksInternet or Candace. A lot of people call me Internet. I'm new here on this channel. I'm kidding. I use she, her pronouns. Also, I'm not funny. I'm sorry. I use she, her pronouns. And I stream 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week. Tuesday mornings, I'm doing alternating 8 a.m. PST streams. So this week isn't on with that. So I'll be here pretty early on Tuesday. I also host a talk show on Mondays called What's Up Internet about the internet, gaming, and streaming and tech. So that's at 4 p.m. PST on Mondays. And then it's my birthday on Friday. So I'm going to be streaming 24 hours starting at 12 a.m. PST on the 28th. That's what's happening this week. So
Amazing.
Yep.
Destiny, do you want to go next?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Destiny. You can find me at HeyDestineeRea, REA, literally all over the internet. On Twitch here, I do a lot of makers and crafting streams. We are crocheting a Phoebe from Animal Crossing currently. We're also in the middle of a 200+ ticket hunt for Azalea in Animal Crossing, so fingers crossed for that flower rhino. And I stream like sometime in the afternoon Pacific time, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Kind of depends. You can always just check my Twitter. Oh, when I use she, they pronouns, I realized I forgot that mid-sentence, but
Amazing. Thank you. Concho, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. Hi, yo, ConchoDreamer. You can find me on all social medias under that name. I use he, him pronouns. Currently, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday at 5 p.m. PST. You can catch me streaming on Twitch. We've been playing Sims. We've been playing Stardew, some Animal Crossing, and sometimes Apex. I haven't played Apex in a while, but I do play. And you can also every Friday over on the YouTubes, you can catch a new vlog every week. And we just started a new series of actually D&D centered vlogs. So come on over. What do you say? Like, come watch stuff? I don't know. I've been
Go
doing
watch
this for 2
Concho's
years,
vlogs.
and I never still know what to say. I'm just like,
You got it. You're doing great. Go watch Concho's YouTube videos. They make me happy. Yeah. Pixel, do you want to go next?
So I'm LostPixelPlays. I use he, him pronouns. Currently stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right around 6 p.m. Eastern, sometimes a little earlier, depends on how my day is going. This week, I'm starting a brand new, fresh playthrough of Dark Souls 3 on Tuesday. It looks like the character build that's winning the vote is going to be anime protagonist. If you want to see what that's all about, you can come hang out. And we're going to be adding a second story game this week. Right now, it's a toss-up between Breath of the Wild in Master Mode or a hard mode playthrough of the Resident Evil 2 remake. Both will be interesting. Not sure which one it's going to be yet, but that'll probably be Friday.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And hi, I'm Del. I am the game master of this game, and my computer is still broken, so I still don't have a stream schedule. I stream when the tech spirits allow it. In the meantime, I am making YouTube content. If you like the tentacles you've seen here tonight, I am playing a Cthulhu dating simulator on YouTube. So go check out my YouTube if you want to watch me date Cthulhu. I also post vlogs almost every Saturday over there. I've also been streaming art in Discord and just finding things to do for content creation while streaming and my computer continue to feud at each other. So that's what I'm doing. Just a reminder, any bits tonight that you have spent go towards the mod team to thank them for all of the hard work that they do. We couldn't do this without the mod team, so thank you so much to them. If you want to support us as the cast, as well as our production fund, that is through Pally. We are saving up for character art to get character art commissioned of all of our characters. So that's how you could support all of us. Thank you all for being here, for hanging out. And now we do our post-credit scene. So for this after credit scene, we see a woman who is sitting at it's in a garden overlooking a golden hour sunset. There's golden lights. She has long red hair that is like braided back with leaves in it. And she is embroidering a forest of leaves with golden red. The camera lingers on a shot of her hands holding a golden needle, with the gold of the needle shining against her dark brown skin, and she looks up. She has these bright glowing eyes, and she smiles at the mice who are playing in her basket that has yarn and embroidery thread. And then we get a shot of the mice, and all of the mice are skeleton mice that are playing in her little basket, and she just continues to embroider these leaves with this thread as the sun shines on her. And that's our end credit scene. So I don't think I've missed anything. I think we're ready. I think we're good. We've done all of our things. Did I miss anything, anybody?
Oh, just gag me with story. Oh my god.